Getting no data.
Yeah, there should be good now.
Capture moments as they happen.
Sweet,
All right,
can't wait.
looks like we are live.
Thank you, Irish.
My pleasure.
Looking
Mine
good.
goes to college.
Looking delicious.
I don't know what these guys. I don't know what these guys are talking about in the background here. I'm trying to confirm that we're actually live. Excellent, fantastic. Good morning, everyone, and good evening or good, really early good morning.
Don't
fucking CC this shit up.
What the fuck?
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yes, but CC just makes a big song and dance about it. Just say hi.
No, I was gonna say good morning to us and good morning to people in, because we have people on the other side of the world. It's morning, technically morning for them. God, fuck you guys. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Four Beardsmen of the Apocalypse. Thank you for coming to my channel.
Over here.
I'm JL. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming out, especially this early in the morning. Looks like we have everybody here. So, yes, good morning, Tony. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yes, wonderful to be here. Excited. Apparently, you guys now have a new president-elect, sort of.
We're almost there. Yeah.
Yes. No, we have a new president-elect.
Is he officially it? Has he been officially?
He's officially the president-elect. He's not officially the president until after the after he takes over January 19th. But the Electoral College has yet to cast their votes.
So doesn't he only become the president-elect after the Electoral College gets together and does whatever witchcraft they do?
Yeah, they have this big bowl, and they smoke a bunch of hashish before they go in. And then there's like this vaporizer that's vaping heroin.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds like it's right up Hunter's alley, though.
I
had to. You couldn't leave that hanging there without me plucking it. Come on.
Come on, man. And good morning. Good morning, Johnny. How are you this morning?
I am here. I made it. It's been a very long weekend. Work sucks, but at least I have a job. So there's that.
This is true. I as well, because I was on call, and I'm so glad I didn't get a call last night. But on Saturday night, because I was helping Johnny out with the stream that Saturday morning. I got called out. I was out for like 3. You know how we were chatting? I was out for like 3 hours fixing that toilet. It sucked. It was just bad.
It must have been one hefty shit.
It was something down there. I don't know what the hell it was, but it took me 3 hours to clear that damn thing, and then I had to shop vac the entire bathroom out. It was just gnarly. But hey, rotten. I have a job. And I get paid very well to do it, so that makes me happy. And somebody else here. Oh, Caboose. Leading up the rear, Irish Demon. How are you?
I'm very good, my friends. I've had a pretty crazy weekend too. Spent my whole day yesterday in a police station, as most of you know by now.
You got arrested for public indecency.
I got arrested for streaking. We're streaking. No, I didn't streak. I think that would be a hate crime. I think me streaking would literally be a hate crime. It would be an assault on the senses, put it that way. But no, I'm doing really, really good. I just want to give a shout out to 2 people. First one is Dark Steve. Somebody mod that man. Dark Steve is a new member of mine. Really, really great dude. And I'm one of my fishy friends in the chat. You know who you are. I won't say your name because I didn't ask if I could. But one of my fishy friends in the chat there. Good to see you. And let's get this fucking party started.
Is it just me, or is it every time Iris says fishy, I think of fucking Deuce Bigelow? Fishy, 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 fishy.
Oh, Little Wolf mentioned a joke. I guess I better do a dad joke, right? Like, but I'll do one now and I'll do one at the end, but no more in between. I think that's the best for everybody's sake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Get the bracelets ready, Jessica G.
You ready, Jessica? I know she's going to smash me for this. You know what? One of these days, I'll make Jessica G laugh, and that'll be it. I can die a happy man.
Yep.
Oh, she laughs. She laughs as she's kicking your ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine with that. As long as she's laughing, I can die a happy man. But yeah, I was really irritated with my neighbor last night. He was playing Lionel Richie songs really, really loud all night. Normally, I wouldn't mind, but it was all night long.
You screwed that up, you know.
You kind of did.
Did I?
You did. You dropped the punchline before you were supposed to drop the punchline. Yeah.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you. I'm fucking higher than astronaut balls right now. So I'm just like, you know, what else? Like, okay, all right, okay, last one. What do you call? Do you like this one, Tony? I guarantee it. What do you call a detective electrician?
I don't know.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. Not bad, right?
That's pretty good, actually.
That's clever.
See, there we go. We get the nod of approval.
For us.
Not funny, but yeah, witty.
Clever, yeah.
JL, really? Clever. The slow clap. Oh, actually, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Just one more thing, because somebody did mention it in the chat. Daniel Pratt's water heater says, "Where is the shirt? It is on my delicious body, good sir."
Which he keeps his delicious body in another room.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck that body is.
Yeah, that body looks like it's been out of the fridge a little too long.
I've got the body of a god, Buddha.
All right.
But yeah. So
how the hell does a man who weighs 600 pounds have the balls to teach people about self-discipline?
I know, right?
That's because you don't understand what it means to be Buddha in 600 pounds.
Yes, I do.
You know, it takes discipline to be able to eat that much fucking rice to get that big.
To get that big? Yeah, it's true.
So what was the fridge's first name? Because that's the physique Demon actually reminds me of. You remember the fridge?
Oh, the fridge from Bears.
Yes.
What was his name?
We actually talked about this the other night.
Something Perry, right?
William Perry.
Yeah.
William Refrigerator Perry. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see who's in the chat this morning. Who has joined us? Chris Durham, Music Channel. Good morning, sir. Clive Wells. Good to see you. Little Wolf. Who else we got? Catnip Entertainment. Catnip Entertainment. Dana Pratt's water heater. Good morning, Jessica G.
Special ed Little Wolf right there. What are you doing?
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to say hi to people. Jessica G. Always a pleasure to get reamed by you.
Whoa.
I will have the camera on while you're pegging Irish Demon.
Wow.
Jeez. And who else we got? Who else we got?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm against it. Like
Craft Tequila. Craft Tequila. She'll be lurking in the chat, so it's a pleasure.
Hey, Craft.
And Dark Steve, good to meet you, friend of Irish Demon. Any friend of Irish Demon is I'm a wary friend of.
Is a case for concern.
And what else we got? Oh, it looks like it's about maybe we'll have some more people turning up, but other than that, it's a pretty excellent crowd that we have out there. Absolutely. So I wanted to. I'm glad that I came across this. I came across this almost last minute. I wanted to.
That happens as we get older.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh damn! Don't tell me I lost it.
That happens as we get older too.
Son of a bitch. No, I found a. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, I just needed to back up one. Okay, so, PhD Tony, Irish Demon, Johnny O. You guys have all done flat Earth videos and gone after flat Earthers.
Unfortunately.
I've only done like the flat Earth flyer one because flat Earth is to me it's silly. There's so many great people out there making content. I feel like I'm late to the prom on that one. And so I'll just do other stuff. But I came across a video that's a year old, but I haven't seen anybody tackle it. It's from J. Tolan Media 1. Has anybody heard of this cat?
That sounds kind of familiar, I gotta say, but go on anyway.
Okay, so Jay Tolan Media 1. He's got 23.2K subscribers. And so there's this video up, and it's 2.3K likes, 264 dislikes, and about like 2,000 comments on it. It's been up for, I think, for what it says a year. It's been up for a year. But it's called the Epic Gravity Experiment. Now, I haven't watched it because I found it literally 5 minutes before we went live. But apparently he did it April 28th, 2019. I have no idea where he's at. But
Florida.
Yeah, it's probably.
No, genuinely.
But I came across this video. I haven't. I'm going to address that, Clive Wells. So, yeah, I came across it. Just the name didn't ring a bell. I was wondering if anybody else had come across it, if anybody else had actually seen this video, the Epic Gravity Experiment, and how they think it was that he has absolutely proven that Earth is flat with this experiment.
Well, really?
That's what he says. That's it. I don't know. It's weird because he's doing a gravity experiment, yet he's got a camera.
It's weird. So he's doing a gravity experiment, yet he's stuck to the Earth.
Like, just being is the gravity experiment. Like, just actually existing, pretty much.
Morning, Mario Rui. Good to see you. And Clive Wells, yes. Okay, so the reason I recorded, number one, the reason I recorded that video in what you call flurf mode, in portrait mode, is because there's stuff. I'm in the shop. When I'm at work and I'm in the shop, and there is MAA stuff, there's things around that could, that might give away too much information. So I need to make sure that I don't like show everything in the background, because there's like logos and shit, and I just want to make sure that I'm not throwing it out there on the web, and so that's why I keep it nice and tight so that I can I know where I'm going to be. And two, no one fucking complained on the first one. It wasn't until the second one.
So many jokes are running through my head right now.
But nobody complained on the first video that I put out when I talked shit to Daniel Pratt.
That's because you're talking shit to Daniel Pratt. So that was the meat and potatoes was better than the plate it was served on.
Dick. All right, so Clive Wells says he's been featured before on other channels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have heard the name before.
So Jay Tolan Media 1. So
yeah,
it does ring a bell. I just don't. I try not to commit flat earthers to memory.
Not frequently enough that I have any recollection whatsoever of him. I mean, he's not multi-Tom or Dell or any one of the Nathans or whatever.
Well, okay. Well, I was just curious if anybody's seen it because I've never seen this before. I will probably watch it later. If anybody wants to do, I probably will not do a video on this one. I've already got too many lined up, and I'm literally just balls deep in my takedown of Darth Dawkins. I cannot wait.
I can't wait for that, man.
I can't wait to do that.
It's
one.
It's going to be awesome.
It's a bit heavier than the other stuff because I'm pretty much breaking down logical argumentation, from axioms all the way up to how we draw our conclusions and reality and shit. So this was a bit heavy. I'm trying to make sure it's not too heavy. I'm going to try and Neil deGrasse Tyson it, make it more digestible, make it more palatable. But Epic Gravity Experiment from Jay Tolan Media 1. If anybody wants to do a video on it, there you go. So I guess the next thing on everybody's minds is not the elephant in the room, because we will talk about that later, because we have talked about that so much. I'd rather talk about funny things.
Well, here's a funny thing. Speaking of elephants in rooms, and so I've been trying to get this Instagram fool to debate Team Skeptic and fight the Flat Earth ever since my buddy Jackson said, "Hey, I got this guy who'll debate anybody." He calls himself Cure the Mind Virus. He thinks he's the second coming of Jesus. We've talked about him before. Okay.
Yeah, that fucking dick.
We scheduled a debate with him, and he just, I didn't know it was gonna be in Central Time Zone.
Northan Terpson, what's up?
What's up, Northan?
Gosh,
So-
backfire.
He posed.
Sorry.
He made a post, right? This Cure the Mind virus gets on Instagram and says, "I'll debate anybody, anytime, anywhere." So I said, "Cool, Gauntlet Throne. I've picked up the gauntlet. Let's set it up." So that was the first debate that he ghosted because he's a bitch. Second time he starts spamming, and I put this in the Beardsmen chat, but he starts spamming everybody's Instagram talking about, "Oh, I'm here, I'm back, I'm letting you all know I'm back, ready." Blah 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 blah. I said, "Cool, let's do it. Let's make it happen." And he goes live on Instagram while I'm at work, expecting me to stop what I'm doing. I sent him a message. I said, "Cool, send me an email. We'll set up a time and we can do this. Well, I'll get you the debate going. I'll moderate like I was going to last time." But this fool is a scared little bitch because he knows he can't handle being outside of his own echo chamber. So this is what I want all of you to do. I don't want you to harass him, but I want you to go look up Cure the Mind virus and just leave him a comment that says echo, echo, echo.
Oh, nice. On Insta?
On Instagram.
Is on Instagram?
Yep.
Okay. You see, that's the guy, because I'm only on Instagram as Week in Horror. So I'm trying to get that set up so that our daily splatters will go to Instagram as well. So I can't really go after Flat Earthers as the channel. But if I make one for myself, I will.
Yeah, don't put the Week in Horror at risk, but
yeah, associating with these assholes.
Yeah, right.
So Cure the Mind virus on Instagram, sorry, isn't it?
Yeah, Cure the Mind virus.
And I'm blocked. No, I'm fucking good. Hey, did you see that comment from Talia W? Which one is the flat earther? Well, I said his name is PhD Tony.
PhD Tony is possession of secret knowledge. Apparently, he's fallen.
Yeah.
No, there he goes.
He's a flat Earth gatekeeper. That's why he's given a position of power. But let me ask the chat real quickly while we're talking. Who do you think of the four of us, if you were to meet us in the flesh, is the most likely one to be a flat earther? I think I know the answer already before I even asked that question.
I think I know the answer too.
Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, JL.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. You gotta put numbers. 1 for Irish Demon, 2 for Johnny O, 3 for JL, 3 for me JL, or 4 for PhD Tony. Who is most likely, if you met a real person, to look like a flat earther?
To be
and we'll talk about why. I'm just waiting for Jessica G to spam ones. That's guaranteed.
Yep. So you've already got 3 votes.
Yes, I
4,
Me by
5.
a long
Yep, I knew this was going to be the answer.
Oh,
God damn.
7.
I think it's because I'm.
You walked into that one,
6.
dude.
Still 6.
I walked directly
7.
into that one. And
Yep.
I just did not think.
Morning, Ilya Moon.
Yep. So there's 7. 7
All right,
nil.
I lose. I want to know why. I see. I would have said
8.
one of my Texans over here because
Morning,
let's face
Regios.
it, majority of flat earthers are Americans. Am I right?
I don't know. All the videos. Oh, there's a 2.
Finally,
There's
I get
two for you,
voted
Johnny.
for something. Jesus Christ.
Johnny's on the board.
Just look like a hillbilly.
All right, 7-1. I think Nerthan just did that just to make you feel better, Irish.
Tones.
he actually is supporting one.
Daniel
He's just
Pratt
trying to
water
also
heater.
support
Now
the
you're
Democratic
just being funny there, Daniel
No,
Pratt's water heater.
They know it's Irish Demon. They're just supporting the democratic process.
Yeah, exactly.
So
She's in on it, man. She knows. Talia knows that you're just a gatekeeper. He does those videos to put us off the scent of the reality of a flat earth with a fucking, what is it, a firmament? Oh, guys, did you see the video Nathan Thompson and Aaron Ra?
Yeah, okay, that was actually going to be my next thing that I
Oh,
brought
okay,
up.
sorry.
No, that's fine. That's good. That's fine.
I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah, it was exactly what I was going to bring up. Like, the next thing is, because we're talking about flat earth and everything, I saw this pop up on just at random. Because I don't go to MDD's channel anymore. I don't look for their shit. But I'm subscribed to other people. So I'm subscribed to Matt Dillahunty and the Atheist Experience, and so that popped up because I watch all of Matt's stuff. That popped up that he was going to be debating somebody there, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, same thing with R and Ra. It popped up on my feed that he was going to be debating Nathan Thompson, and my initial reactions. R and Ra is debating Nathan Thompson on the flat Earth. Initial reactions from you guys. Just when you first saw that it was going to happen.
I'll let everybody else go on this one because mine is not nice.
Tony, I'll go after you.
Tony.
I've never heard Aaron Ra debate. But modern day debates doesn't seem like it's well moderated. On the other hand, Nathan Thompson just seems incapable of taking advantage of poor moderation. So he basically just gets his ass handed to him. I'd expect that to happen pretty much any time.
That's fair.
Damon? Irish?
I agree.
Just initial reaction when you saw it.
So you guys know I'm a massive Aaron Ra fan anyway, so I'll watch anything that Aaron Ra does. But knowing that he was going up against Nathan Thompson, Aaron Ra is spicy. Like, he doesn't take any shit. And what I love about him is he doesn't just say, I'm not going to take shit. He literally doesn't. And he goes, you know what? Fuck you, I'm out of here. And he just got out of there. I think of all of the debates that I've ever seen anybody go up against Nathan Thompson, that was, in my opinion, the best dealt with. Because he just said, you know what, dude, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. And just said, nah, I'm not going to waste my time with this absolute idiot. And walked off. I would have loved to see more of a dumpster fire, don't get me wrong. But I think he handled it really, really. I'd love to see Tony go up against Nathan Thompson.
Yeah, unlikely to happen.
I think that would be much, much saltier. I think I could lay out my skirt. I think I could lay out my skirt steak, and by the end of the debate, I would be set for a camping trip.
with the saltiest jerky ever.
The saltiest jerky ever. So we are anxiously awaiting Johnny O. What did you think when you first saw that Aaron Ra would be debating Nathan Thompson?
Okay. Please don't hate me for this, but I thought that Aaron Ra was a little stupid for agreeing to do this debate. Because knowing how Aaron Ra debates, knowing what Aaron Ra requires for conditions of said debate, and knowing what Nathan Thompson is, it's not like Aaron Ra just doesn't know who Nathan Thompson is. Aaron Ra spent plenty of time on YouTube. He's come across this idiot before. So he should have known exactly what to expect out of this guy. So the fact that he showed up in the first place is just a stupid decision.
So triggered.
Yeah, the whole business about well, you're just here to lie about me and you're here to do this and that. No shit, Aaron. That's all that Nathan Thompson does. You know this. You have to know this. And if you're any kind of debater, you do research on your opponent before you agree to debate said opponent. That way you know how to be able to tear down his argument.
That's a very good point.
And that's how I took Why You Are an Idiot's lunch money, is I watched all of his shit.
Exactly. So for Aaron Ra to show up on Modern Day Debate, knowing how shitty Modern Day Debate is, to show up on there with any kind of expectation that it's going to be an actual debate was disingenuous of him. That makes him puts him in that little bit of you kind of get what you deserve column, Aaron. You know better than to try and debate somebody like a Nathan Thompson. They have no substance. They have no understanding of anything. And to think that you can get in there, even with saying, hey, these are my conditions, these are what we're going to do, knowing Modern Day Debate, knowing Nathan Thompson, none of that was going to happen. So getting upset that it didn't happen the way that you thought it was going to happen, the way that you thought it should happen, whatever, that's, I mean, you picked your poison there. You should have known this was going to happen, Aaron. I have nothing but respect for Aaron Ra. I think the guy's brilliant, but it was a little bit naive to think that he could say this is the conditions for me showing up for a Nathan Thompson debate moderated by James on Modern Day Debate and expect it to go that way.
Yeah, well, I would say the word moderate is not one I would use in that scenario. Like, you know, it just, I agree. I think he should have kind of known what he was getting into a little bit there.
I have to admit, I was a little in the chat. Sorry, I was a little, when I first saw it pop up, I was extremely, at first I was concerned. I was like, why would Aaron Ra debate after the crap with Jaronism?
Right.
Why would Aaron Ra debate any flat earther?
Right, and
Aaron
that's
Ra
exactly
knows
what I was thinking.
Yeah, Aaron Ra knows it's objectively false that the Earth is flat. He knows. I mean, there is no argument on the other side.
Right.
And yes, we've all even I've heard. I mean, everyone's heard of Nathan Thompson. We've talked about him enough that we probably platformed him more than he's platformed himself.
Right.
Especially since he got arrested. So Aaron Ra is aware that this person exists, and anybody who would get arrested going and screaming the Earth is flat at children, has extreme issues. So why you would sit down next to this or sit down in front of this person and expect this individual to debate in good faith? I don't know the logic there unless Aaron was invested in some other way, like maybe he was getting paid or whatever. I'm not sure. But he did say he set the requirements that he wanted a map and he wanted a model that he could look at, that he could analyze.
Yeah, but
and he said
that
these
are two conditions that Aaron Ra puts on flat earthers, knowing that it's impossible to get those out of. That right there is just disingenuous of Aaron Ra, because they don't exist. Not a single flat earther has ever provided a working model or a working map. None. And he knows this.
That's true. You are correct. That's why it leads me to believe logically, why would he be on there? He doesn't need to platform himself on MDD. I can't remember the last time he was on MDD. So he doesn't need to platform himself there. He has the followers. All he has to do is just put out content and he's good to go. Right. And maybe show up to other debates against theists, which he is strongest at.
Yeah. And in evolution.
Yeah. Those science he's really, really strong at, and he's practiced at. Now knocking out flat earthers, that's easy enough. I did think that his argumentation swayed a little heavily religious, but I think what kicked that off, because he's really good at going off the cuff. He's really good at just dropping knowledge like that, especially when it comes to religion. But that was because Natalie went religious from the very start of it. And he did it just to incite it, because when people go up to Aaron Ra and say, "Oh, God bless you, we love you, God, whatever, we're praying for you," that pisses him off. That really annoys him.
And it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't piss off Aaron Ra that much. It really shouldn't even bother him. If people come up to me all the time and say stupid shit, like, okay, cool, whatever, bye, see ya. It's not a big deal. The fact that he lets stupid shit like that get under his skin exposes his weakness. Because
I'm not saying the dude's perfect. I'm not saying he's perfect.
No. I know that. Because now, what do you think Nathan Thompson is telling all of his buddies?
He made him run off.
They chased him off. That Aaron Ra was too scared to debate him.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Regardless of what the reality of the matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact that Nathan Thompson, I beat Aaron Ra. Ha ha ha. I'm better than Aaron Ra.
See, that's the one thing That's the one thing that I don't dig, is that if you find yourself in a debate like on YouTube, and you're there, and the other person's in there in bad faith, and all it is you see the train screaming towards the dumpster fire, okay, and it's just not worth your time, not worth your energy, unless you just want to watch the car wreck. You are penalized by the audience, or typically you're penalized by the audience for getting up and walking away. So the audience would penalize Aaron Ra for being like, "Fuck this shit. This guy doesn't have anything," and he told me he told me he did have it, and now he's denying that. He's lying straight to my face. So I'm out, and he left. That was it. And then but then that makes him look worse than Nathan. How is that possible? Is it? Maybe it's just the internet.
Aaron Ra asking Nathan Thompson to provide evidence for anything would be like me saying, "JL, I'll fight you if you could knock out Mike Tyson first." Exactly.
Almost worth it.
Well, I'll say, you should know better than you. The whole point of debating flat earthers is not to persuade them,
right?
And it's to educate the audience, and to provide the audience with arguments to dismantle whatever nonsense the flat earther comes out with. And if that's not what Aaron, that doesn't sound like it was Aaron Ra's motivation there, because in order for that to work, you need to choose an audience that's willing to learn. I kind of wish everybody would stop going on to Nathan Thompson's show, because it's just a fucking waste of time.
I agree.
And you're better off suffocating him, starving him of oxygen. All the flat earthers tune into that to see him yell at globetards. Yep. If globetards stopped showing up, people would find it insanely boring. So, I think everybody needs to be encouraged. Don't go on there. You're not going to educate anybody. You're not going to educate the audience. It's pointless. And it doesn't seem like Aaron Ra went into this with necessarily the right objectives. That's what it feels like anyway. Demon, could you make some more noise?
Yeah, really. Just set off a few bombs or get that jacket.
Sorry, guys. I thought I was muted. My bad.
So, Jessica G recommends Johnny O will fight JL Warren if Irish Demon fights Mike Tyson and can't survive one punch.
I would knock his shit out.
Wait a minute.
After he's eaten you and is shitting you out.
Yeah, I would take Mike Tyson right now, one-armed, blindfolded, and with one leg clipped over any one of us in a fight. Have you seen him lately? Have you seen him training for his old man's bout?
No. Mike Tyson's a fucking beast.
That dude is a goddamn beast, man.
Well, I have a secret weapon.
He's a monster.
There's a simple solution to this. All you have to do is take out your knob, because you can scare a big motherfucker with a little pecker. True story.
Why are you running around to big guys and pulling out your wiener?
Just start windmilling at him, fucking smack him with it.
Mushroom bruise?
Oh, yeah. What? Guaranteed it would work.
Hey, morning, basic trigonometry. Good to see you. Tina Jones, good to see you. Thor Rasmussen. Oh, lovely people.
Steamy Cup Reason.
Steamy Cup Reason. What's up, Score? All the beautiful people this morning. Fantastic. Good to see everybody. Why does Irish Demon always go straight for the dicks? Because Irish Demon is a big fan of the cock.
I mean, you use what you don't got, I guess. Wait a minute.
Well, it comes from being one.
No, you guys are doing it wrong.
If I'm like an average dick, Tony is like a whale's penis of a dick.
Well, he does have a big D in his name.
He does.
He does have a great big D.
Just saying, so do I. You know what I mean?
So yes, it's a but yeah, Jessica G brings up people like Clive Wells. Clive Wells could destroy any Flirth.
Right.
I watched. So Clive Wells put out a video about the Rayleigh criterion and deriving it, and it was really, really interesting. Mathematically to follow how he was working along. But it was at a level where, I was following it. I'd have followed it better when I was back when I was just starting my PhD and just out of my maths degree. But, just there's no way he can, there's no way flat earthers or science denialists can argue with the technical expertise that he can bring. It's just that, a lot of sane people don't regard the shape of the earth as anything that's worth debating, and they're quite right.
Yeah.
But educating people on why what these people are saying is complete gibberish is useful.
Yeah, but there are better ways to do it than, getting on with Nathan Thompson, because there's all he's going to do is sit there and moderator, he's interrupting me, moderator. like a little bitch.
Yeah. I hate to say it. It makes me look like such a dick. I really want to fight him.
I don't want to. I don't want to fight
charity,
him. I just
for
want
charity.
to.
I'd fight him for charity. I would. All ticket sales. Ticket sales would go directly to. I would say. I just name a good one. I don't care. Just any charity. Someone else handle that.
Like a children's charity or like a children's, especially a children's like earth sciences education charity.
You know what? I'll donate it to the school that he got arrested at.
Oh, genius!
I would take that money and I donate it straight to those kids.
Speaking of
for having to deal with his ass.
I've been
and I would give like weekend horror swag. We'd collect all the swag, give it to the kid who yelled, "Are you crazy?"
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because that kid
gets half the money.
Steaming Cup of Reason. There's no reason to watch it. Aaron Rod didn't kick anybody's ass. He ran. He took off. He ducked out early. I don't want to say he ran away from Nathan Thompson, but he definitely farted and then walked out of the room, left Nathan Thompson with a fart.
Yeah, it was pretty, and then they kept Nathan Thompson on for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, no,
I'm sorry, but that right there, I have lost all respect for James. I didn't have much to begin with, but James may be a nice guy, but fuck that guy. Platforming, man. Nathan Thompson.
That was platforming.
It's all like, let's face it, it's all for the fucking super chats, pretty much, because like our bunks after 20 minutes, you're not gonna get many super chats. And he knows full well that people want to fuck with Nathan Thompson and send in $5 super chats to do it. And you know what? At the end of the day, he's running a business. You say, fine. But I know it's like the way he's moderated and stuff has completely put me off. I used to watch modern day debates every morning when I'd be on my way to work. Every morning. Yeah. And now I just don't like it anymore. He lets people get away with too much, and we all like a dumpster fire, but it just goes too far. And it's just the same people over and over and same debates over and over. Mm-hmm. But hey, guys, talking about charity, I've been asked. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do this or whatever, but somebody asked me. Come again?
I was responding to X Penguin in the chat. He's correct.
Oh yes, he's a nice person. Can't moderate. He's only doing it for the super chat. Yep, agreed, totally. I mean, it was surprising because if you look at this, and I wanted to jump. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it was Aaron Robb versus Nathan Thompson. Obviously, going to be a shit show like this. But there was one before that I watched, which was the one that Matt Dillahunty was on. And surprisingly, that was Matt Dillahunty versus that was basically atheism versus Christianity. I think it was. Evidence to accept a God or something of that nature. Those two individuals, because Matt knows how to comport himself in a debate, and luckily he was across somebody else. The theist knew how to comport himself in a debate. They didn't overtalk each other. They apologized if they happened to accidentally interrupt. They got their ideas across, and they came to the conclusion that, like we talked about, Johnny, that axiomatically there's no reason for us to be debating,
right?
Because this is an impasse. We can't cross this road. So they just went on to Q&A. And you could almost tell that James was disappointed that this didn't blow up, and turn into a thing, because that's not what Matt does. Unless you act like an inconsiderate jackass, Matt is not going to go full atheist, brimstone on. He's not going to burn you down unless you start acting like a dick, or you start lying or misrepresenting or putting words in his mouth and basically being a bad faith actor. Mm-hmm. So it was all good, and James was just kind of like, oh yeah, and he looked bored. So I think it lends credence to the claim that he's in it for the super chats. He's in it for the dumpster fire. Yeah. I mean, it's his business model. He can do that. That's fine.
But the problem I have with it, I'm giving away one of my unpopular opinions. But this is the problem that I have with James, is that he tries to put himself out there as a legitimate debate channel, and he's not.
Yeah,
his channel is not a legitimate used to debate. Well, maybe, but then he realized, hey, if I put Nathan Thompson and Team Skepticon on the same show, that generates a lot of money. What else can I do with Nathan Thompson to generate a lot of money? Or what else can I do with Team Skeptic to generate a lot of money? Or what else can I do with other people? Matt Dillahunty, cool, let's put him on. Oh, wait a minute, that didn't work out so well. Yeah, maybe I got a lot of views, but I didn't get a lot of super chats.
So, yeah.
And here's the thing, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Just fucking be honest about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's like, hey, welcome to the dumpster fire show.
You should call it modern day dumpster fires.
Yeah,
that would.
Everybody,
I would
just,
watch
in
that.
that case, everybody just steer over to agree to disagree. Conspiracy Cats, Freaky Blinder, they moderate like fucking bosses.
Awesome.
I've had the distinct pleasure of debating on their channel. I think that debate went fairly well. But that was a great experience. They actually moderated. They held people to the questions that they were asked. They were involved, and they were there to ensure that it did not turn into a dumpster fire and was a legitimate exchange of ideas, and that people who argue in bad faith, they put a spotlight on it. They showcase that to the audience to keep them as honest as possible. Because if the moderators will do their jobs, these people, in order to not look bad, will control their behavior. So go to agree to disagree. This is just my recommendation, just my honest opinion. I unsubscribed from MDD when he started doing the shit with Nathan. That was some time ago.
Same.
And when that shit went down, and then
crybaby and all that.
Yeah. When I was kind of like, you have an individual. This is not an alleged shit. You have an individual who was arrested for trespassing in his school and screaming at children and forcing them to basically evacuate the playground.
Yep.
Because they didn't know what kind of crazy person you were.
Yep.
In this day and age that we live in. So when you force children to have to evacuate from recess, you are a legitimate nut job. You are a fucking zag nut bar. Okay? So when the cops have to come and criminal trespass your ass and they arrest you and book you and arraign you, that person doesn't need a fucking platform. No. You don't put him on your screen to watch him dance. No, I just think it's disingenuous. It's cruel, and pointless. Ultimately, you're not going to get anything but shit flown at the fucking camera. So whatever. So unsubscribe to MDD. I'm calling for it. This is my fucking channel. I'll call for it. Unsubscribe to MDD. Subscribe to Agree to Disagree. Show Conspiracy Cats. Show Freaky Blinder your love. Those guys are fucking amazing. I hope I'm on that show again one day.
Jessica G mentioned it in the chat that Crafty Keeler served as a moderator on one of the debates.
She did a great job too.
Versus awesome. The Plain Truth, and she did a fantastic job. I think if people are looking for a talented moderator, if any channel is looking for a talented moderator, Crafty Keeler would be a great choice.
I agree 100%. Like if James passed off the moderation a little bit, it'd probably be better. You know what I mean? Like
if he actually moderated.
Yeah, that's all. For
real, if he could moderated,
he could host. He's a host, and then he could have a moderator just on audio.
Right.
Like just pipe in the audio from somebody who's like that, who's moderating this thing, and the person will moderate, and then he can just be the host, and he can have his brilliant face up there just going like, hey, MDD, man, I'm working to get my PhD, but I host this in the meantime. So, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes.
Terrible James impression, but...
No, I thought it was pretty spot on there, JL. Like, you should definitely go on America's Got Talent with that. JL is great, because the reason he's so good at doing impressions is because they're all the exact same. They're like, just JL going... But I was asked if I would you put that away, sunshine, or you're gonna put it somewhere you're not gonna like. I was asked earlier if I would consider getting my
to make you feel better more at home.
Just go the whole fist. Just
make you feel better.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it would. So I was asked earlier if I would consider getting my nipple pierced live on the air, and now I'm also being asked if I should also get my belly button done live on the air for charity. What do you guys reckon?
No, I think you should get your tongue done.
I don't want to see any of those body parts.
No way am I getting my tongue done.
Get tongue done.
No way.
Pussy.
No way.
What are you scared of?
I'm not going to get my pussy done. Sorry, it was hanging there. It was hanging there.
Low hanging.
Oh, God. Dude, get an ampelang.
A what?
An ampelang.
I'm going to look that up right now. What's that?
Look it up, dude. Get an ampelang.
Spell it.
A-M-P.
Lang.
Yeah.
A-L-A-N-G.
I knew it was going to come up. I knew Prince Albert was going to come up.
You were dead right
there. Prince Albert's different from Nampelang.
No, I know, but I knew they were coming up in the chat. That's like an addition.
Oh, yeah.
Not an Ampelang, but...
So you get Here,
Prince Albert's the frenulum. Prince Albert's just a frenulum.
Yes, JL. They're not saying that an ampelang is a Prince Albert. They're saying
I know.
Look,
I was talking to Irish.
Don't make me Prince Albert you.
Let me just ask you. Hold on a second, right? So I have some serious fucking concerns with this thing because I'm looking at a very, very explicit diagram, right? So I've just got a couple of questions now. Prepare to be demonetized, good sir.
I'm not even monetized, man. Say what you want.
Oh, that's all right then. I can say whatever I want. Question number 1. So I'm not obviously if you put the diagram up on the stream. Oh Jesus! Don't click on what this thing is. Oh, some of these are really bad. Okay, question number 1. First of all, why? Why would you do that? That's I don't even need an answer for that. That's a rhetorical question.
It aids in intercourse.
Question 2. If you get that done, how do you do a Riley? Because you have got a bar through your cock nostril. So like, how do you?
Split stream.
Like some of these guys have piercings the whole way down, right? So like if you take those piercings out and you need to go to the toilet, you've got to be like a professional flute player to be able to hold this thing.
Yeah, you think that's good. So there's ampelangs, which you see which is through the head. There's the Prince Albert, which is through the frenulum. But here's a really, really good one, and this is a gnarly one because this is more goes into body modification, where they literally split you open like that, and then they insert ball bearings into the in order to I guess it makes it heavier.
That is, like I mean, so but seriously though, how do you pee? Like with one of those,
it doesn't block. It will come out. So
ugh. Nah, I don't think I'll do that.
And typically they don't. I mean, I've never seen really extreme gauges in an ampelang. I've seen extreme gauges in a Prince Albert.
A 22 is an extreme gauge in any one of those that we're talking about.
At all is an extreme gauge.
So
the second question,
Dave N, just looked it up. No. What's up?
If you still got the old hood over the helmet, does it go through the hood and the helmet, or just the helmet? No, and if it's just the helmet, how does the hood work?
It goes through the head. They pull the helmet back.
What the
fuck did we get ourselves into?
Yeah, they can't pin.
I am just going to.
Tony's just adjusting his ampelang.
They don't pin the foreskin to the head because that would cause problems. So they pull it back and put it through the head, and then the foreskin can go over it. So,
you're not filling me with what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence right now.
There are a number of cricket metaphors about playing with a dead bat or letting it go out to the line of off stump, and just not this conversation is not luring me in to participate in any meaningful conversation.
Oh, come on, Tony! You want to get your you want to get your eyebrows pierced.
Well, I will say that seeing as how that the direction
Tony would look good with a labret. Tony would look good with a labret.
Well, only if you put the candy corn on it.
You see it with a big ass fucking spike right there.
The only reason why this dick piercing conversation has been allowed to go on for so long is because of the direction that the show is heading. One of our future topics on this show today is about piercing dicks. Metaphorically, of course.
Skewering sausages for barbecue.
Skewering orange orangutan cocks.
Sorry, we finally come around to the elephant that used to be in the room.
Yeah, exactly. I had to steer us away from that fucking dick piercing shit.
Dude, man, I'm telling you, I have a lot of friends in the Nerf the Terps had asked me. I have a lot of friends in the body mod community, and there's some wild shit that people do. But the basics, I mean, there is basic stuff. But I have met some people who done some really extreme things.
That's basic stuff.
Yeah, that's basic stuff. But I mean, people who have put like dermal implants in their heads, or I met that one cat who did the dermal implant horn, so he literally has horns affixed to his head that are like, they're dermal implants. They're permanent.
Right.
So Well, actually, I think that the piercings are permanent, but he can unscrew. He can unscrew the horns off. So it's wild.
That's so cool, man. I would love that.
Oh, it's wicked shit. So when he takes them off, they're literally just 2 screws that come out of his head, and then when he wants to put them on, he just screws the horns in, and then they go on, and he's got horns. And then he has like dermal implants that run up like here that are just bumps. They go boom to give like a reptilian look. It's wild. So the only thing I don't like is tattooing. The only thing I don't dig is tattooing of eyeballs. That's the only thing I don't like because it's so dangerous and it can make you go blind. So.
Yeah, man. I've seen some people online do it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody IRL with it done. But I'm seriously, like, I'm being dead serious here. I would actually consider getting nipple piercing done for charity, or like a small tattoo for charity, live on the air.
John Chimpo. It's got to be John Chimpo with a tattoo.
Yeah, so
it's got to be what?
John Chimpo.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what that is.
I'm gonna have John Chimpo. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, I do know that picture. Yeah, I would do that. No problem. Fuck that. Get that on my ankle. I would get that on my unit.
Get a big 4-leaf clover on your ass.
What? Oh my God! You just lost all of your Irishness. Your Irishness just disappeared.
No,
what is it with Americans?
It's
and
so
like, oh my God, I love Irish people. They've got the 4-leaf clover.
No,
it's like, no, we don't.
It's stereotypical. You just get you're Irish. You just get it on your ass.
And you
Lucky Charms munching bastards. I'm telling you what. I tell you what. That would be like me saying, "Hey, where's your Stetson?"
Get the Lucky Charms around your wrist.
Oh my God. Oh, no way, man. I would rather get my nip pierced to my unit than get that done. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm getting coffee while you were talking about nipple piercings.
So my suggestion, Irish, is that you should avoid piercings. Given your safety record, they're just another way that you can destroy yourself. Yeah. Like by having it ripped out, grazed.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Wind up with
even
nipples,
on that vein, Tony. Even on that vein, I got a tattoo on my arm, which I managed to gouge a big piece out of skateboarding the other day. Like, I hurt myself so bad the other day. I got a little crack on my bone, but it's fine. And I also found out I've got a tumor in my my thumb, a benign tumor, which I need to get figured out. But I hurt every extremity that I have. And I literally had to call my lecturer to get an extension because I could not type. My hands hurt so bad. And he was like, "Can you do voice to text?" I was like, "Dude, I've got an Irish accent. Voice to text does not fucking work for me." And he was like, "Okay, I'll give you 2 weeks." I was like, "Thank you so much." Oh well.
Well, when that fully heals, you can get that ink retouched. So that shouldn't be a problem.
I think it has healed, and it seems that it's actually fine. Yeah, there's a tiny bit nicked, but it's actually healed pretty fine. So,
I dig. I mean, because this one I have, and please don't judge me. I mean, don't judge me for this. I'm going to get some judgment, but that one right there,
I like it. Is it Celtic Cross or?
Yeah, it is, and it's from my father's heritage, and I got this after he passed away in 2004. This was before I had fully converted, or deconverted before I became an atheist. But it meant a lot to him, and so that was something that I got to remember him by. And this one has gotten so many nicks and so many dings and little light spots all over the place. But I love it because it tells a part of my story, and you can see the dings. That's how long it's been there, and I like the age. Like it was like an old book, or just like an old artifact. I love that it looks aged. If this looked brand new, like fresh and brand new, I wouldn't dig that. So I like the age too.
You know the interesting thing about getting talking about jail and his tattoo. The thing for me is like when it comes to that went over everybody's head, but anyway, when it comes to Celtic Cross tattoos,
you should see it when she spins me.
Oh my fucking god!
Take it easy, Thor.
What have we descended? We're in the company of a learned doctor here, gents. Like, I mean, come on. But you know, the thing with the Celtic.
But you can rest easy, Irish. My opinion of you isn't going to get any worse.
I have no doubt. But you know, the thing with the Celtic cross, though, right? And I'm sure I know there's a couple of my country folk in the chat will probably agree. Like, the interesting thing about the Celtic high cross, it's not so much anymore a symbol of Christianity, more so a symbol of Celtic Irishness and that early Christian Celtic tradition. And so I think it's a very beautiful thing. And when we went back to visit the family castle and stuff, there's a big old Celtic cross there, and you know, it's a huge part of the heritage. So for me, I think it's a beautiful thing, even though I don't, you know, follow Christianity or anything.
Well,
but
wasn't the Celtic cross supposed to be Christianity's way of pulling pagans in? So it's like a blended of the two, of a pagan symbol and a Christian religious symbol.
Oh, there's actually quite a few like that, like the Christmas tree. Same kind of idea.
Yeah.
It was a way of like, blending things so that it was easier for that conversion.
It was Christianity. There's nothing original about Christianity whatsoever.
Oh, I think I'm going to be showing up on Conspiracy Cats' channel to talk about around Christmas time. Might be doing a Christmas stream where we're going to be talking about the origins of Christmas and the little traditions that people have, because they don't realize just how fucking demonic they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like proper pagan fucking Viking motherfuckers. I love it. It's like,
hilarious.
we're all going to sit around and have a Yule log. Yeah, you, me, and all the rest of the fucking pagans on our way to Valhalla. Yeah, let's do it. Crazy old Midwest.
Just wait till I tell them where they get their idea, where the whole Santa thing comes from, because that's a lovely story.
Yes,
I can't wait.
It's a tortured trail out of myth, that one.
Yep.
I always take the opportunity to wish everybody a happy feast of Sol Invictus on the 25th.
There you go.
On the 25th of December, because you know that's what it is. So yeah, it's the cross thing. Not there was sort of Celtic associations. I mean, St. Bridget, for instance, was a Celtic goddess who just got turned into a saint. So there was a lot of repurposing that went on there. I'm just showing that I can be just as boring as Demon any day.
Right. Well, especially when it comes to Irish history.
Twice on fucking Sundays. But the cross one, actually, there was a priest who got into trouble in Iceland, one of the Scandinavian countries, and they've gone, what's that symbol? And he's gone, it's Thor's hammer. So they actually took to making them so that they could be a little bit ambiguous, like it could look like Thor's hammer, and he could claim to be a worshipper of Thor. It's one of the
that's clever.
One of the sort of funnier elements. But yeah. But there was a story I did want to say that on their way to on their way to a battle, a Viking army came along, and there were a bunch of nuns and monks near the side of the road praying, and the Vikings were going, "What are you guys doing?" And going, "Well, we're praying for the army that you're going to fight, so that they'll win." And the Vikings going, "Okay," and killed them all.
Yeah.
Why would you let them do that? Like, you know, if you're a magic, so you are trying to invoke magical powers against us on the battlefield. No, I don't think I'm going to let you do that.
Got to take out their priests and mages.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That's just Dungeons and Dragons 101.
It is
so mad.
I'm trying to imagine the Vikings that were there, and they'd say, "What are you all doing?" It was like, "Well, we're praying for the gods to come and help our army defeat you." And there was probably a moment where they all just kind of
look at each other. The fuck?
These guys stupid.
Are we all on the same? Are we all on the same page here, guys? It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Bjorn, hand me my axe. I got some shit to take care of.
Yeah.
And it was probably, I don't know if anybody has seen the show Norseman.
Oh my god, amazing.
I love that show. It was probably, as a matter of fact, it was like, so are we going to be taking care of this? So, because we can't let them just, use magic against us. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking like that. But I'm not seeing any magic. That's okay. We don't want to risk it. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and kill them. I think are we good? We're all agreed? Yeah, we're agreed. We're going to kill you.
Norseman, for anybody out there who hasn't watched it, it's like a piss take of Vikings. And it was actually filmed in Norwegian and English, as far as I know. But the main lady in it, she was in a show called Lilyhammer,
yes.
which was an incredible kind of a dark comedy with what was that guy's name?
Steve. Shit.
Steve Shit.
Steve Shit.
Yeah. No, I can't remember his last name. He was a guitarist with.
That's right.
Bruce Springsteen.
Correct.
I should know this.
He was also on the Sopranos.
Yeah, he was in the Sopranos.
Fuck. I have to look it up because I can't remember his last name.
But he's playing a gangster in witness relocation because obviously the identity of the actor is the important thing here. It's a show about. It's a show about Steve.
We want to give credit. We want to give credit.
Yeah, Steven Van Zandt. Fucking hell, I can't believe
Steven Van Zandt. That was it. And he's an amazing actor, and it was an amazing show that went for 3 seasons and just kind of cut off, which was sad. I don't know if they're going to come back and get a season 4 because I don't think it's been officially canceled. And I think we lost Irish Demon, did we? No, the Irish Demon got very small.
He got small because somebody's messing with his wang.
I will be right back. Excuse me, gents.
Speaking of messing with wangs.
Did you, talking about Norseman, did JL just say he was going to leave? I don't know if he's got his headphones on or did he take them off. There's just a really funny thing in Norseman where the guy, they're standing on the edge of the longboat and he accidentally drops his sword into the water.
Whoops.
And he goes, "Remember, friends, the sea giveth, and sometimes the sea taketh away, and this time the sea tooketh my sword." It was just, if any of you out there have not seen it, it's on, I think it's on Netflix. It is one of the funniest shows. Like the main guy's called Halvid or something, and it's, oh my god, I just, you sit there and just piss yourself. It's so well done. It's kind of like it's I can't remember. It's almost like anti-comedy. You know what I mean? It's that kind of dry kind of comedy, but it's it's very funny. It's
I'm gonna get
very funny
because I'm not doing a very good job keeping everybody the correct size.
Oh my god, my head's huge now. What the fuck?
Well, stop playing with it.
I think I should get that checked.
Oh man. All right. We got to talk about the goings on over the past week.
I'm just going to grab a coffee before we move on to that because I feel like it's going to get heated.
I don't know if it's
not in the way. No, not from me. I'm going to be a good boy tonight. I'm not intentionally winding anybody up tonight. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while it's just the two intellectuals on the show, what did you make of? Okay, when did you start watching the results? Did you start on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think? When you went to bed Tuesday, or I guess it would be Wednesday your time, when you turned it off Wednesday your time, what was the outlook?
The outlook was that it was too close to call, and I was actually quite shocked. I still don't understand how it is that this election was at all close. There was any sort of tension to it. Because I don't understand.
It's not as close as we think it is. I mean, it's not any closer than any other election has ever been previously. It's just we had a shit ton more people voting.
Well, I just don't understand how sort of I obviously I don't understand the American mindset. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
I don't see how you come to the conclusion that the last 4 years were so good that this guy deserves another 4 years in which to completely destroy American standing in the world, American democratic institutions,
Right.
and the rule of law. It really didn't. I just don't understand it. So I was quite depressed. I was quite. It's been a. It was a really Wednesday was really Wednesday and Thursday were really stressful for me. That was Tuesday and Wednesday your time.
Right. Well, see, the funny thing is Tuesday our time when JL and I finished the stream, it was looking not good.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I didn't
sleep. I didn't sleep well that night.
Yeah, I didn't
really
sleep well that night either. I kept turning over and looking at my phone to check the live results and all that. And I don't like the Associated Press. I didn't like that. One thing that people like to bag on CNN being uber liberal, and they were probably the most centrist of all reporting agencies on this election, at least when it comes to calling states and keeping things kind of even keel. There's definitely a liberal slant to CNN, so don't anybody quote me saying it's not. But so I kept checking the results, and then somebody, I think it was Chris Cuomo, who said that that Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin counted their mail-in ballots late. Like that was the last one they counted, so that's the reason why they kept saying it was too close to call, because I was looking at Pennsylvania specifically, and at one point Donald Trump had like a 12-point advantage. I'm thinking, how the fuck is that too close to call? And then Cuomo said something about mail-in ballots are later. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense, but even still. And then it turned out that mail-in ballot was overwhelmingly Biden. Like 82% across the nation was mail-in ballots for Joe Biden.
Okay. And so it was sort of a slow, hard slog. It seemed.
Yes, it was.
Oh, somebody just mentioned something. Let's see. Where's it at? Jeff Roberts says, morning, Jeff Roberts. Can we talk about yesterday's Four Seasons total landscaping fiasco? So I didn't know about this, but I just looked it up. And Trump confuses Four Seasons landscaping with hotel as presser venue. Internet can't think of anything funnier. Trump team holds news conference outside drab landscaping firm next to adult bookstore.
That's hilarious. So, S. Thurston says, Americans do not vote for the president. They vote for members of the Electoral College. The college votes for the president. Thus, people were, in most cases, voting for the same guy as last time. Well, kind of. So, the Electoral College has already been voted. They'd already been put in place. And we do vote for who we want to be president. Now, it's up to the Electoral College to vote the way that reflects their constituents. Doesn't always happen that way, but that's the way it's supposed to happen. So, I mean, yes, we do vote for the president. We are voting for the president. One of the reasons why I think the Electoral College needs to change is at the very least, we need to district like Maine and Nebraska have it, multiple districts per state, because if you look at the state of Texas, some of the largest population, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, stuff like that, they were overwhelmingly liberal voters in those places. But because we have this, what we consider a giant state that's spread over vast, it's just it doesn't really reflect. Giving Donald Trump, whatever it is, 29, or was it 29 or 39? The Electoral College votes based on Texas. Texas was really close this year. They stopped counting Texas ballots because it didn't seem as if anything was going to change. But Texas was really close. Texas did the opposite. They counted not mail-in, but they counted early voting first, and a lot of early voting was heavily Democratic. And then they started counting in election day votes, and that's when Texas was blue for the longest time. When Slim got on the stream that JL and I did on Tuesday and said, "Hey, Texas is blue," I said, "Fuck off!" And I went and looked, and it was blue. It turned red, and it turned back blue. It stayed blue for a long time, and then it went back red.
So I just, guess what you forgot to do again, Demon?
Turn off your microphone.
What is it? I want to give a shout out to somebody new that just popped in the channel. I just invited him to the stream. Desired Plays. Desired is an atheist that I ran into when I was in Darth Dawkins' Discord. And as I was, throwing down with, I wasn't with Darth Dawkins himself. It was with one of his little sycophants. But as I was throwing down with this guy back and forth, I was talking with Desired in the back. I was texting with him and speaking with the theist. And this dude is a badass atheist debater. Really, really good argumentation. Is really, really smart, and he actually helped me out a lot. He gave me some points that I had not considered that were really, really good. So I wanted to welcome him in. This is the first time he's been in, so appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you were able to stop by. So that's Desired
Welcome.
Plays. Desired Plays is the man.
So I just wanted to quickly address some stuff that had come up in the chat about vote blue no matter who, and I don't want my opposition to the GOP to come across as you must vote Democrat,
right?
But I don't think that the Republicans can be trusted with government. There are a couple of reasons. One is their opposition to universal health care or socialized health care. Again, kills 10 to 50,000 people a year in the United States. That doesn't seem acceptable. And I don't understand how any American believes that that's a good idea, especially given that you're paying twice as much per head of population per year for your healthcare system. So it's vastly more expensive and it's vastly worse. The other thing is that in order to get elected, Republicans have to agree to veto any attempt at raising taxes, which automatically means that the only way that you can try balancing the budget is by reducing government expenditure, so reducing the services that government provides to voters. Those two policies combined, and if you don't do that, if you don't support that mantra, you will not get any fucking funding whatsoever to run. Right. So it's just, it just seems like I wish that the GOP could just not exist. It's not like, I think that everybody should vote Democrat, but everybody should vote against these guys because they've got a bunch of really negative policies that are really harmful to the United States. And I just don't understand, it's not that I would instinctively vote for any Democrat that was put in front of me, but I would certainly not vote for a Republican.
Jesus Christ, what is going on here with all these people changing sizes? Fucking hell, Irish Demon. What did you turn your camera off?
What the heck?
All of you are going blue, except for me, and I'm kind of frozen, I think.
Yeah, I think Irish is doing something with his Irish, did we lose you? We may have lost Irish. I think something's going on with his computer.
It would appear I was muted, and I just dropped an awesome joke after what Tony said, and now it's gone.
Well, and your camera is off.
Tony said everybody turned blue, and I was like, so that means Tony's the only Republican here. I just thought that was beautiful considering. But yeah, it was muted, so unfortunately my zinger doesn't have that same sting. But I was listening intently, and I agree with everything you guys are saying, 100%. I think the other thing is the environment is one of the big things for me that goes strongly against any Republican, because they just seem to have absolutely no genuine concern for the environment.
Right.
Yeah, leapfrog. Yeah, actually, leapfrogging off of that. It was
I might just go out of the call and come back in, Johnny. That I think that worked the last time, so I'll just try that and I'll be right back.
All right.
So leapfrogging off of that idea, that was the one thing that would really struck me was that night that I had that I had so much difficulty sleeping, that we all probably had a lot of difficulty sleeping.
Yeah.
I went to work the next morning, and actually it was on Monday morning. So Monday morning, things were still up in the air. It still wasn't looking fantastic. So we roll in Monday morning. Nobody is really in a good mood. And what do I got this?
What'd you do?
Viewers will experience buffering. Not receiving enough video. Don't worry about that. Okay, so I go into work, and what got me was we have several of my coworkers have children. My boss has 3 kids. The assistant manager has got two little girls, and I could see it on their faces that it was the concern for the future. I was saying like for climate change like that, if Trump was in office another 4 years, we're talking incalculable damage that he would have done in our position in our fight against man-made climate change and the effects that it will have on this earth. In fact, I was really scared that if he landed it, we would miss our window, our narrowing window, that we would miss that in trying to turn this thing around, because there will come a point where where we literally hit the point of no return, and it will just be a positive feedback loop until we're all gone, until the earth until basically we have to sit back and let the earth correct itself.
Right.
Which a lot of people will die to do that.
Yes.
A lot that it'll pretty. I was thinking like, if we miss that window because of Trump, then we in 50 years, maybe 30 years, we could be eating each other. Now I know that sounds very, very apocalyptic, but I don't think. I mean, if we talk worst case scenario, I don't think people give enough thought, except for the people, climatologists, the people who actually looking at the science, looking at this. But not enough lay people, not enough people just out there in the world give enough thought to what it would be like if climate change got out of control, and what would happen to our civilization. Displaced, billions of people displaced, food shortages like you've never seen, disease outbreaks like you've never seen, complete collapse of ecosystems. We'd be looking at the road. The world will become a Cormac McCarthy novel, and we will be eating each other to survive. And that sounds bad. It sounds like very, very apocalyptic, but that's the end result of that. The end result is no more human species. And either it'll be the cockroaches or something else that will rise up and become the next intelligent species on the planet, if there ever will be another one again. So
stop.
That's an extreme scenario.
Sure.
Kind of like the Apophis scenario. So like Apophis is we're currently monitoring that because things are happening to Apophis that we did not anticipate. Going on with now that it's entered into a particular area of space that we can really observe. Now we're seeing changes to Apophis's approach that have thrown the possibility that it may not strike Earth in 2068. Who knows? But you think about these things, it's like, another 4 years of Trump might have just doomed us all. It's entirely possible.
Can I? So this is one of
field, dude. Go for it.
So one of the things, just first of all, the person who founded the Environmental Protection Agency was actually Richard Nixon. And the idea of protecting the environment, preventing, corporations or companies from inadvertently damaging the common weal is should be a conservative sticking point. And so, I'm not sure how it is that the Republicans have come to the conclusion that actually it's got to be opposed point blank, that it's a bad thing and we need to fucking stop it. Because if you're a conservative, surely conserving the welfare of the nation involves protecting the nation's resources, and that includes the environment that we live as a part of. But I keep on going on about Professor Frank Fenner, whose projection was that within 100 years humanity would be extinct, and there's a much larger probability of that now than there was when he said it. When he said it, he said that it was inevitable, that it couldn't be stopped. But I'm hoping that he was either misguided or trying to be alarmist. But whatever, we need to take this seriously because we're only aware of a very small amount of the problem. We need to be navigating much more cautiously than we are.
Yeah. Tony, on that point, let me ask you this: in your and it's rare that you actually get a chance to say this to somebody. When you're in your genuine expert opinion, what do you see currently as the single greatest threat? I know there are multiple, obviously, but the single greatest threat to the environment, what do you see it as?
Well, I think it's certainly climate change. I think it's just, so do you want me to talk about specific climate effects that can happen?
Yeah. So I guess what I mean is of everything that's going on in the world right now. So, burning fossil fuels, I guess a lot of it is around fossil fuel. Right?
Yeah, so that is, well, that's the burning fossil fuels is the most damaging thing that we're doing. It's the human activity. We need to change the global energy market, and we need to apply a tax on fossil fuel use that properly factors in the cost of the damage that it does. It's been underpriced for centuries. We've gotten rich off the back of it, but now it's time for everybody to give it up, and for us, the wealthy countries of the world, to pay for the developing countries of the world to skip the fossil fuel burning phase, and go straight to the good stuff. Go straight to a renewable or a nuclear based energy market. But that's pretty horrified. That is the biggest thing, is the energy market, and it's not individual choices. Individual choices are not going to cut it. It's got to be the global market needs to change.
Oh yeah, there's no mathematics there. We're talking about money now for the survival of the human species. Exactly. It's fucked that we've gotten to the point where we have to weigh things against the collective survival of our species.
Absolutely.
It is insane that we are at this point. But if you go back and read The Road, so many people in there, and that's just the best example. You didn't see the man pushing his little shopping cart full of money. It wasn't full of money.
Nope.
Okay, that you can't take it with you. When the cannibals are eating you, you can't buy them off.
Yeah, you can with a literal arm and leg. You can
with an arm. Yeah.
Well, hang on. One thing before we get too far away from it.
Sorry, go on.
One thing before we get too far away with it. Clive Wells brought up something in there saying that you can't go changing the electoral college to get who you want voted in office because then the other side can do the same thing. That's not what I said earlier. And what I said is that overall, the electoral college either needs to go away or change to be more representative of what people want.
Yes.
So,
because if you take a look at, hang on a second, I'm going to finish this point and then I'm going to turn it back over to you guys. If you take a look at California, Texas, Florida, these larger populated states, right? So if you take a look at California, that's 55 electoral college votes that go blue almost all the time. I don't think I've seen California go red in the past. I don't think I've ever seen California go red, to be honest with you. I don't even think it went red for Reagan. But
I don't think so.
If you look at California, the most populated areas are going to be Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland. But that's not where, I mean, I think, let me look. What did California have when it comes to, let's take a look here. So if you look at the California vote, the way that it populated, there were 4 million, almost 5 million people who voted for Donald Trump. So is giving out of the 13, 15, 14, I don't know, but we'll say 14 million people that voted in California, is giving all 55 electoral college votes to Joe Biden really representative of what California wants? And on the same, if you look at Texas, there were over 10 million people that voted, almost 11 million people who voted. And Donald Trump got 5.8 million of those. Joe Biden got 5.2. So to give Donald Trump all, whatever it is, what is it, 32 or 29? What is it? I can't remember. 38 electoral college votes to Donald Trump. Is that really a representation of what Texas said? Absolutely not. So I think the electoral college is out of whack. It doesn't work. It needs to be overhauled at the very least, if not gotten rid of completely altogether.
So yeah, the key thing there is the one reform that you could have is just a proportional distribution of the electoral college votes,
right?
In proportion to the votes that were obtained by each candidate. Now, obviously, there are questions about how you round, because the extension of that would just be to have a popular vote,
right?
For the president. But I don't understand.
Isn't there a state mandate for that currently out there?
Yeah, there is. So a lot of states have taken the electoral majority as a resolution, and it's something like they need to get to 2/3 of the states, right? So that's 33, and I think it's 30, 31, something like that. They're reasonably close to getting enough states to have 2/3 of the states supporting that the winner of the majority of the votes wins the election. I forget. Colorado, I think, after 2016, decided to go with that and decided to put that on as a resolution, and it passed. I'd need to look up the details there. Sorry.
No, there's no telling how long that will last, considering how long the Equality Act has been on the books, and there's a few states out there that have still yet ratified that. So, which is ridiculous. I don't understand that.
Sexism isn't a problem. Neither's racism. Just ask an old white guy, a wealthy old guy.
Exactly right.
Yeah, there's no such thing as poverty, no such thing as racism, and no such thing as sexism, according to
especially when you've got $200 million.
Right.
So, like, how long has that damn thing been on the books? The Equality Act.
Since 2012, right?
A sec. I know it's been.
I mentioned it yesterday, actually. Funnily enough. And there was that thing about the never mind. I lost my train of thought. Fucking hell! I can't remember what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. But nope, it's gone. It's fucking
2019. It received it on May of 2019, where it is still sitting in the Senate.
Mm. Well, of course, because Mitch McConnell wouldn't dare.
Oh, I remembered.
Liberal. All right, what is it?
I remember what I was going to say. So when coming from Ireland, right? And this is something myself and Tony spoke about probably a couple of times at this stage. Coming from Ireland, where the vast majority of people are white, because it's a small island off the northwest coast of Europe, so it's pretty standard
really
fare.
Cold.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'm on a lot of Irish American pages, and most of them are Trump supporters for some reason. And so there's one lady on there who likes to share posts of famous Black Irish people. So like Samantha Mumba, and there's a whole load of other famous Irish Black people. And they're like, oh, they're not real Irish. And I'm like, dude, they're more Irish than you will ever be. It's not your blood. It's not the color of your skin. It's about being there, living the life there, or whatever. And I can honestly say I had experienced mild racism in Ireland, like people complaining about, refugees and, the usual old silly shit, but not at the scale that I have witnessed until I came to Australia. Like, I gotta say, I love this country. I really love this country, but I did not know what racism was until I came here. I When I came here, I thought, that like indigenous culture would be a big thing here, and oh, man, I was blown away.
Not so much,
I was so blown away, man. Like, and then I did a stint up in Amartu village in the Pilbara region, northwestern Australia, and it was like going back in time to like a small, rundown, war-torn village in Africa somewhere, and seeing these people, the way they were treated, they were just dumped there. Oh man, it upsets me even thinking about it right now. I actually spoke with a lady about this the other day, and it broke my heart to see the racism that exists here. Such a wealthy country where you can have a really good life if you put your mind to it, and yet people have these ridiculous, even against me. I've had people say, "Oh, you're fucking Irish, you wouldn't know anything," or "Oh, you must be an alcoholic." I'm like, no, and that's just a small kind of joke or whatever. But when it comes to real racism, man, it can be pretty brutal over here. And I just never knew how bad it was till I came here, man. I never knew, and so I got to say I have a totally different view.
Mm.
I grew up here, and it's very easy to have that. There's no problem with racism. That was exactly my attitude, and it was only when I sort of got to the US and had some actual conversations with people about how racism works, what it's based on. Then you go, oh, actually, that's a really stupid attitude.
That's right.
I can't believe I ever did that. So the thing I'm talking about is actually the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which is an agreement. Yeah. So it's only got 15 states and the District of Columbia. Those states have 196 electoral votes. You only need 270 electoral votes to agree to that. You don't need the entire country. You don't need 2/3 of the. You don't need a 2/3 majority of all of the states. You just need 270 electoral votes. Mm-hmm. And if they can get to that, and the vote, they all agree. All of these people agree to pass law. All of these states agree to pass laws that they will vote for the winner of the popular vote. So. So that's one way that they're working towards it.
Oh, addressing the chat. Morning, Factard. Thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. And morning, Anacino Maldonado. Good to see you, sir. So, and yes, actually, Johnny, I actually messed it up. What I was referring to was the Equal Rights Amendment.
Oh, okay.
So not the Equal Rights Act, but the Equal Rights Amendment, which has been on the books officially, back and forth, had deadlines passed like since 1923.
Yeah.
First introduced by Alice Paul and Crystal Eastman, introduced to Congress in December of 23. That has still been on the books and has not been passed because
that is so crazy.
Yeah,
man.
at the closest it came, it was 30. The amendment received 35 of the necessary 38 state ratifications. 3 states stood in the way of that one, and we still can't get everybody on the same board as that because of people like Phyllis Schlafly.
You want to talk about something worse than that? Well, not worse than that, but you want to talk about something that makes you think along the same lines. Take a look at Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right, as a national holiday. Same sort of thing had to happen, right? We had to have it ratified, 3/5, whatnot.
Yep.
And Arizona was the last state in the union to say, yeah, okay, we'll go ahead and recognize it. Like, dude, it's a fucking day off. It's a day off of work.
Man, it makes no sense to me sometimes.
Well, and that's the one thing I think we should. Yeah, the same thing with Columbus Day. We need to end that shit.
Well, we can call it something different.
That should not be a day.
We can call it Indigenous People Day, which is, I think, what is
yes, I agree with that.
That trend here is starting to happen, right? So on all calendars now it's Columbus Day and then Indigenous People Day. And the fucked up part about the whole Columbus Day thing is that motherfucker didn't step 1 foot in the United States of America.
No, he did not. But man, he killed a whole lot of people south of us.
That motherfucker used to sharpen his swords on native peoples.
Yeah, man, that's fucked.
He was a piece of shit.
So yeah, I think that's a one. I hope that eventually goes through, just like just like what the Wolfpack is trying to do, as they slowly but surely try to get the necessary states to ratify an amendment, getting basically getting money out of politics. They want to put caps on the money that you get and basically eliminate super PACs.
Yep.
And they're basically trying to back end Citizens United, because it's easier to put something on the books that will back end it than it is trying to get rid of to get rid of it. Yep. And hopefully they will be successful. I know that they've got something like, I haven't checked out, I think like maybe 13, 14 states who back, basically getting corporate money out of politics, getting super PACs out of politics, and putting caps on how much people can spend. And then if the ranked choice voting gets adopted by the federal government and is adopted nationwide, those two in tandem will make our voting system way more efficient, way more representative of what the people want, and we should see a lot less animosity. Yeah. Because it drastically changes.
Who does ranked choice right now? It's Maine, right? They're doing ranked choice?
Yeah, there are 2 states, Maine and New Mexico.
Is it New Mexico?
I know there's one more state.
I thought it was just Maine that did ranked choice.
Ranked choice voting, Maine.
Jessica G, you're on point. You're on point, Jessica G.
Yeah. Maine know all about rank. Maine know all about rank because they just re-elected.
She's absolutely right. What she said too, because when you said when he said about back ending them, I just went like. And I was like, no, this is actually genuinely too serious for me to crack a silly fucking joke. So when I was like, what did she say? And then I checked, I was like, oh my God, she's actually 100% right. I'm sorry, I can't fucking help it. I know it's important stuff, but I can't help it. It's funny.
Well, it's good to joke.
You can't just go around, right. You can't go around in front of me talking about back-ending people and not expect me to make a joke about it. I contained myself, and then Jessica G brought out the worst.
You could have just dropped a giggity. That would have been okay.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking of going like, huh. Just one of those, like, when you were in high school, when you're in high school and your teacher says something like, so you need to grab it by the shaft, and then you go, huh.
Or
and
then the whole class starts laughing. Yeah.
Turn to page, it's 69. Yeah. And turn to the page after page 68, please, ladies and gentlemen. Right. We used to make our teachers say dirty things. So you'd say something in Irish, like in Gaelic, and she wouldn't think before she translated, so you'd make her say something like shaft or bell end or something, and everybody would just fucking lose their minds. It was so much fun.
We made I was on the school rugby league team, and we made our coach. We named all of our set plays after venereal diseases.
Who's got chlamydia? Who's got chlamydia?
Who's got chlamydia?
And he was perfectly okay. So he would be on the sideline shouting gonorrhea, gonorrhea, and
that is so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That is awesome. So what's gonorrhea? Is that where it gets like really painful in the back end or something like that?
Okay, yeah, Johnny, it looks like you are correct. So it looks like Maine is the only one that adopted and utilizes ranked choice voting.
You're thinking of congressional districts.
For all state and federal primary elections and all general elections for Congress, extended to apply to the general election for president beginning in 2020 and presidential primary elections beginning in 2024.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that's across the board. It's ranked choice voting in Maine. Everywhere else uses it at lower level stuff, a lot of state level stuff, a lot of county level stuff, city level stuff. But upcoming implementations are widespread. New York City will be doing it in 2021, starting with their city primary and special elections. So people are getting on board with ranked choice voting because it is more representative of what the people want. And I love that it decreases the amount of animosity in between the opponents, between the candidates. We don't see the attack ads. We don't see the vitriol and mudslinging that we see with our current system. So hopefully, federal implementation across the board, that would be really, really good.
So there are a few things that we can do. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was going to say something completely unrelated and, unnecessary to jail. But I just remembered because he came back and we were talking about Norsemen earlier, and I feel like if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget it because I'm pretty sure I've got ADHD. I rang my mom the other day and I said, Mom, be honest with me, because I'm studying psychology or whatever. I was like, Mom, be honest with me, because she knows all about psychology and shit. Do you think I have ADHD? And she was like, yeah. I was like, what? I was like, don't hold back, Mom. Like, I was like, do you really think I have ADHD? She was like, yeah. She's like, I've said that 100 times. She was like, you definitely have ADHD. So anyway, that's why I need to come back and actually say what I was going to say, which I've now forgotten. But no, I haven't. I just remembered, actually. We were talking about Norsemen, right? Do you remember a Norseman where he says, the sea giveth, the sea taketh away, and this time the sea has tooketh my sword, when he dropped his sword in the water? He went to cut a rope or something and he dropped his sword. Sorry, I had to. Tony, just while we're on the subject of switching subjects, can you show us your shirt, Tony? Because I just spotted it as you sat down and it is fucking epic and I want one. Earth is not flat. Vaccines work. We've been to the moon. Chemtrails aren't a thing. Climate change is real. Stand up for science. Oh, round of applause, lads. Round of applause. That is fucking brilliant. Where do you get that shirt, Tony?
I saw an ad on Facebook, but actually one of my friends bought it for me. So I'll ask him where he got it, and I'll let you guys know.
That would be so good.
Yep, that's a good one.
Oh, I found it. I found it.
God damn it, Demon! You keep changing size. You're the only one who keeps changing size.
That's because I'm, as Alex Jones would say, I'm an interdimensional alien.
They turn the frogs gay.
Turn the frogs gay, Joe. Turn the frogs gay, Joe.
Like I said, it's the comedic responses, the comedians and the comics in the country. They're the only ones who have kept me sane throughout this whole process. With shit like Alex Jones, screaming about Newtown and gay frogs and the gay agenda.
Oh man.
Shit like that. And then thank God for people like Joe Rogan. Thank God for the comedians and comics who have allowed us to look at these things objectively and laugh at them because they're so ridiculous. If it weren't for them, if it weren't for the comics and comedians and the storytellers around here, I think we'd be way worse off. Thank God for comedy.
Did you say wee wee? Wee wee would be way worse.
I may have actually said wee wee.
See, J.L. Warren is actually an undercover Frenchman, and he's just sitting there like, wee wee. I mean, yeah, Texas.
I mean,
America.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like me some.
Let me go get my shit boots and my horse.
J.L. Warren. Hey, you actually are a Frenchman, though, aren't you? You've got some French blood. You've got some gay frog blood. Turning the frogs gay, Joe. Turning the frogs gay.
Oh, well, thank God. Well, thank God for the other part of thank God for my mom's side. That's why I'm bi. I'm not all the way gay. So.
So what happened? What you're saying is that you were on the gay train, and then you said, you know what? I'm gonna get off right here, halfway.
I'm just gonna walk.
I'm gonna get off. So I'm in that border town, right in between. Yeah.
You're in Texarkana.
Oh, there's gonna be some people who take that the wrong way. What the fuck?
What the fuck was that?
Absolute. Well, that was not me this time.
golly,
Tony looks very guilty over there, man. I feel like Tony just dragged his fucking microphone across a belt sander inside a dryer or something. Tony just fucked his mic straight into a dryer and turned it on. And hold on a sec. Who is it again that complains about me always making noise? I just want to clarify because I seem to have forgotten. So
everybody.
Clive Wells would like to bring attention to the fact that being French is nothing to joke about. It is a serious affliction suffered by millions of people every day.
Funnily enough, I was talking to a lady the other day about French people, and man, did we used to live with some French. We lived in a house in our city, and the house itself was about 200 and something years old, but there had been a house on that site for literally centuries. There's a fantastic history behind the house, but it was quite a big house, and there was a lot of us living in there. And there was myself, 2 French guys, a German lady, a Spanish guy, 2 South American guys. There's about 12 of us. It's a huge house. It used to be an inn. And one time we decided to put on a meal of all of our different countries' food or whatever. And my grandmother, who was about 80 at the time, she lived just up the street. She came down to meet everybody. She's really funny lady. She walked in, and we were all of us like, I spoke English really. Most of them were just there to learn English or whatever. My grandmother walked in and she looked around, and she just goes, "Jesus, it's like the fucking United Nations in here."
Oh, that's awesome.
It just, oh man, she was so funny. Oh, Clive Wells, fuck off. Clive Wells and Jessica G are dead to me. They were always dead to me. Now they've been reincarnated and are re-dead to me.
I gotta say, Daniel Pratt's water heater. Joe Rogan, a comic, that made me laugh. So I find Joe Rogan funny. I find him entertaining because I recognize that Joe, whether Joe's running a business, whatever Joe's model is, he will have people on. I know people question his objectivity, but I do enjoy that when he brings the crazies on, he feeds them rope. And he just keeps feeding them rope until they hang themselves, which I really, really, really enjoy. But I also admire his legitimate fascination when he has people like Brian Cox on, when he has people like Neil deGrasse Tyson on, when he has people like I can't remember his name, his paleontologist friend on. Things that Joe doesn't have expertise in. He loves sitting there listening to these guys talk about their professions because I mean, maybe he's a great actor. Maybe he's fucking phenomenal. But what I see is a guy who really loves learning about shit that he doesn't know. Yeah. He is fascinated by knowledge, and he wants it all. And then the crazy people, he'll just be like,
he's just high.
Maybe he's just high.
He's just staring at him. I don't know
because he's smoking that dank California shit.
No, he's in Colorado. I think he's in Colorado now.
Oh, he's in Colorado. Okay, so
he's in Texas.
Joe Rogan's in Texas now.
The crazy.
He is in Texas.
He feeds the crazies rope. Like Alex Jones, that was hilarious to watch because Alex was so wrapped up in his shit, in his own personal shit. He didn't realize what Joe was doing. Joe's like, "Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, did she have a car? Just keep going, keep going." And Alex is sitting there hanging himself out to dry to the enjoyment of millions of people while Joe's just like, "Yeah, laughing all the way to the bank." Well, this jackass is talking. Honestly, I'm kind of retarded.
Oh, that was so funny though.
Shit like that.
I gotta tell you, Joe, I'm kind of retarded. And like, not only did he have Alex Jones on, but then he brought that other fucking clown on, that flat earther guy, the same show.
Not Eddie Money.
Those two guys were going at it. Eddie Bravo. And one of the funniest parts, I think, one of the probably smartest things Alex Jones has ever said, he turned around to Eddie Bravo and he's like, Eddie, I love you, man. But you don't know what you're fucking talking about. The earth isn't flat, man. The earth's not fucking flat. And I was
look, finally, you're fucking retarded when Alex Jones,
yes.
Alex fucking Jones knows that the earth is not flat.
Honestly, I'm kind of retarded. But this guy is really fucking retarded. Oh, Daniel Pratt's water heater. Guys that like Rogan have daddy issues.
I disagree. I think Rogan is very relatable to a lot of people Don't get me wrong. A lot of people that watch him are just bros or whatever. But like Rogan, I think Rogan kind of he works for people who just want to hear the stories without getting overly deep into the politics of things or what people's motives are. Like with Alex Jones, like I can honestly say I don't think I've ever watched Alex Jones' show before. Maybe when I was younger, one or two shows. And I remember seeing him on other shows and thinking, what, this guy is fucking crazy. But the spectacle of having somebody like Alex Jones on is just amazing. It's like, oh my God, there are people out there like this who make millions. Like he was deplatformed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, but he still makes millions of dollars a year. And I think being able to see people like that shown to the world, and as you said, Joe Rogan just gave him so much rope, man, so much rope. And he just, like, you know what? I actually said this the other day to Mrs. Demon. One of the funniest things that Alex Jones does, right? One of the funniest things is when he says something ridiculously outlandish as if it's like such a benign thing. So Joe Rogan is like, so why are they doing it, man? Like, why are they doing it? And he just goes, interdimensional aliens, Joe. Like it's this obvious thing. It's like, how do you not know this, Joe? That clearly, and I'm like,
about
you know,
it's like if you said, in the world.
Yeah, and it's like kind of, you know, if somebody said to me, why, I don't know, why is the Earth not flat? And you go, oh man, look, there's just so much information, there's so much evidence to say that it's not. You know, it's like this benign kind of answer, and he's just like, interdimensional aliens, Joe. Like as if to say, how did you not fucking know this, Joe? And yeah, he just like he's a very good example of that kind of Nostradamus effect. A lot of people say, oh yeah, but he gets so much right. It's like, do you see how much he says?
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, when you just start saying a whole bunch of shit all the time.
Is wrong. It's right twice a day.
Johnny, are you able to mute me, or do I have to mute myself?
You have to mute yourself. Why, you got to fart?
So no. If I mute myself in the Skype, that'll mute me on the stream.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is because BT Toast said, check out this death metal band called Alex Jones Prison Planet.
Oh my God!
If you like Alex Jones, they make it 10 times better. And I wanted to just listen to a snippet because I already found it on YouTube, but I obviously know I can't broadcast it over the air. So if I mute my
No, we can't hear you anymore, JL.
Oh, JL, we can hear it all now, man. We can hear all the music. You're going to get shut down. We can hear all the music.
Now we can hear lit, though. We can hear the whole thing, JL. JL, dude, yeah, it's rocking, man.
That is fucking dope. Oh, man.
Oh man! Oh well, I was gonna say something. I can't even remember. Oh, I lost all respect for Rogan whenever he refused to go after Amy Schumer for joke theft. Because a lot of you remember when his little feud with Carlos Mencia.
No.
You don't remember that? Oh, dude, he went after Mencia. Mencia is a huge joke theft, right? Mencia would sit in the back of of comedy clubs watching other comedians perform their shit, and he would take notes and then steal it. He would do their bits. There was actually a famous confrontation video on YouTube right now. On YouTube, it's been up for years, where it's Mencia's on stage and Rogan's up there roasting him, talking about how he's a joke theft. And people thought, well, oh, that's funny. Rogan took over one of Mencia's shows. And no, it wasn't Mencia. It wasn't his show. He was there stealing bits. Somebody saw him and called him up on stage to do, a few minutes because, hey, it's Carlos Mencia. It's back when the mind of Mencia was big on Comedy Central. So they brought him up there to do his bit. And Rogan went after Mencia for that whole joke theft bit. I mean, relentlessly just hammering him over and over and over and over again. And then, fast forward a few years, here's Amy Schumer doing the exact same thing. There's like a fucking 30-minute YouTube video showing every instance in which Amy Schumer has stolen jokes. And it's not even like, some of the bits are fucking verbatim. Like there's a bit that was done on, I think it was done on Mad TV, where it was this lady was shopping. This white lady was shopping, looking for clothes, and this black girl helped her out. And she takes her stuff up to the counter, and the cashier says, "Hey, did anybody help you out with this?" And this white lady's trying to describe the salesperson without saying that she's black.
Yeah.
And Amy Schumer does the exact same bit. It's
verbatim.
Fucking yes. And I mean, my goodness, the blatant. And then he was like, "Oh well, you know, she's just trying to do her thing and make blah blah." No, fuck you, Joe. You got Carlos Mencia canceled. Like, this motherfucker still does shows and whatnot. He'll still you know, like, stand up in tours, whatever. But you got his show canceled. You got him pretty much out of the Laugh Factory and a bunch of other places. He can't fucking perform anymore because of this joke theft thing. And now here's Amy Schumer doing the exact same thing, and you're giving her a pass. Like, no, sorry.
Yep. I think the epic thing about the Rogan incident, the reason it was so legendary was because Rogan got up on stage and just called him down, but he also had other comics there. Right. Who could like Ari was there. He could say, "Yes, you did steal my joke. I saw that special, and I'm right here telling you stole my joke."
Right.
And there were people in the audience, other comics, and they're just, and Joe, and there many of them were like, "Yeah, they're sitting there back nodding their heads, like, yep." Like, even that one, I know the little the young Asian guy was, he was aware, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because he made a joke that Menstelia, I always call him Menstelia, stole one of his things, and but he didn't want to go on the record as accusing him of that because Menstelia was so much bigger than he was.
Is that the guy that he tells those, like, he tells jokes like really? He says it in a really kind of monotone way.
Oh no, this is a different dude. Yeah,
I'm thinking there's that guy who's like, he's like, the problem with being Asian is that, like, old Chinese ladies think that because you're a young Asian guy that you're just going to do everything for them. And he's like, so I was on a plane, and this lady comes up, she's like, she wants me to fill out her declaration form, and I'm like, I really shouldn't be doing this. This is kind of illegal. So I'm sitting there filling out her declaration form. He's brilliant. I don't know his name, but he's so funny.
He was on he's recently come to gotten big. But no, this was actually, if you watch the video, the Joe Rogan takedown, if you watch that, it's after the fact. After the whole thing's over, Joe's hanging out in the back.
Yeah, you're talking about Bobby Lee. That's correct, basically.
Bobby Lee, that was it. Yeah. So even he didn't want to go on record. He was being like calling him out. Because Mencia was,
You mean Ned? That was his because that's Carlos Mencia's name isn't Carlos Mencia. It's like Nedrick something, you know.
I thought that was legend. He got up there and was like, "Fuck you!" Started to do and he not just for himself, but for every artist out there. He was sick and tired of seeing it.
Yeah, but on the flip side, he gave Amy Schumer a pass, and Jessica G, just because she doesn't write her jokes now. This video spanned her entire career back before she had writers for her, and she was stealing people's bits back then too. So this is just sit there and say that, well, she's got other people doing
there's another pincer to that, which is that Joe Rogan was there for the theft of the jokes that Mencia took. He wasn't there for the stuff that Amy Schumer took.
Yeah, and I hear that too. But here's the thing: it wasn't like Mencia took Joe Rogan's bits. So Joe Rogan was picking up the torch of other people. Yet when it comes to Amy Schumer, who stole other people's bits, he's like, well, whatever, I don't care.
Well, I have to say that I know nothing about this entire situation. I don't know who Joe Rogan is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say he's got one of the I think one of the top. He's in the top 5 of top rated podcasts in the world. So
yeah,
I think his first Alex Jones one and his Elon Musk interviews were the 2 top rated podcasts on YouTube ever. It was really funny because Alex Jones brags about it. He's like, I got more views than Elon Musk. I got more views than him. And I'm like, but like everybody was tuning in to hear Elon Musk talk. Everybody was tuning in to watch you make a fucking idiot of yourself.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Elon Musk interviews?
I love the Elon Musk. I swear I could listen to that man talk
I have
all day long.
I have listened to that like 3 or 4 times.
It's intellectual ASMR. It's just
yes.
Exactly when I was hearing him talk, I felt chill. It's like
he's so relaxing, man. You know, like I like Elon Musk a lot. Like, but in that video, they'd ask him a question like Joe Rogan would be like, "So, do you think that we'll get to Mars before like humanity on Earth is over?" And Elon would just kind of go like, "No," and then he'd give the answer why, and it struck me like you could see he's really thinking about how to answer the question, but it's almost like he's come back from the future and doesn't want to slip up and say something that would fuck up and get like the butterfly effect. That's what I kind of felt from it.
Paradoxes.
Yeah, but like, you know what I really love about this guy? Like, there's a really small, but bigger than ours, but like a relatively small YouTube channel about they're just people who are in sorry, not a YouTube channel, a Facebook group that I'm in. It's a couple of thousand people who are interested in the future of Mars travel and all that kind of stuff. And Elon Musk just like checks in and does live videos every now and again and just chats and shoots the shit on there. And he's a really fucking good guy. He's a really down to earth guy. Tony's gone. We can talk about him. Can I just say, Tony looks way more jacked than I thought he would.
I know. Tony, you take steroids, Tony?
Tony's beard game is fucking on point.
Is it hormone replacement therapy?
Here, Clive Will says, can't stand Elon Musk. He has some really nutty ideas. The only thing I have to say, he does. But the only thing I have to say to that, the only thing I have to say to that is that Leonardo da Vinci had some pretty nutty ideas as well in the 1400s. So
yeah, Leonardo da Vinci didn't suggest that putting a submarine in a cave, which is one of the stupidest suggestions I've ever heard of. And then decide that once one of the rescuers says, actually, that's not a very good idea, he decides to make some accusation about the guy being a pedophile. And you're just going, no, Elon, it was a fucking stupid idea. Anybody who's actually been in a cave, which you obviously haven't, can tell you it's a stupid idea. Now shut the fuck up and listen to people who do this for a living, you idiots.
I didn't know how claustrophobic I was until I went into a cave. It was the weirdest
Irish,
thing. Sorry,
that's a closet. Sorry, that's a closet.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
But you've just got to, again, you've got to go through what was Elon Musk's fucking mindset through all of that. I don't know anything about rescuing people in caves, but let's throw some fucking technology at it. Actually, Elon, if you troubled yourself to actually look at the problem, you'd see that what you're proposing is completely, utterly fucking impractical. So how about you pull your head in and listen to people who do this shit for a living, because it's fluffer level arrogance, right? I don't know anything about this shit, but obviously I'm better informed on it than He's believing his own propaganda.
Yep.
Look through Elon Musk's career. Elon Musk is rich because he sold a company and bought another company, and he was on that company when it hit the big time, and he sold it and made bajillions of dollars. That's luck.
So you won the lottery, basically.
I don't know. I don't know if creating PayPal was hitting the lottery. I mean, that was pretty ingenious at the time. Online
PayPal, he bought it.
Oh, he bought PayPal, but yeah, I mean that's
he did buy it. Yeah,
that's a shrewd investment maneuver.
Yes, that's a shouldn't. That doesn't make him Tony fucking Stark.
This is true.
Imagine if you had his money, Tony.
There's no arc reactor, so yeah.
I think if Tony had the resources that Elon Musk had, he would change the fucking world. Like, legitimately would change.
I think Tony's just mad that he's smarter than Elon Musk and just not as lucky as Elon Musk.
Smarter and handsomer. Which brings me to what I was wanting to bring up tonight, lads and lassies. So, word that's been in the news recently. Now,
before you do,
a word from our sponsor.
www.onlyfans.com/.
Dark Steve says, I'm going to strap a Mitsubishi Triton to a rocket.
We have
just
a
to
word from our sponsor. Go ahead. Say
hi. Hi.
Hey, Munchie.
I'm playing school with my sister, but we need to get the stuff ready.
Oh, wow.
All right. You going to say bye-bye to everybody?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She's so cute. She's the cutest thing, man, besides me.
She is my hope for humanity, I swear.
Oh, these guys,
man.
They're fun.
I tell you what, Johnny, like, all jokes aside, they are an absolute credit to you both, though. They're awesome kids, man. Like,
well, thank you.
To see kids so bright and, like, engaging and mannerly, and I just love that. Like, it's I think good parenting comes in so many different, forms or whatever, but seeing such wonderful kids, man, it really does. It gives me a good feeling about the future, and it's great.
Well, we try to do our best to teach them right from wrong, and
that painting's so cute.
You have what's the word? I'm looking for the word. You have
restored your faith in humanity.
Reinvigorated. What happened to your voice?
They are kind of my. They are kind of my. They do restore my faith in humanity. Johnny O and Miss Ortega have fueled their kids' curiosity. I have rarely seen. I remember the last time I saw a child as interested in learning.
Oh man!
As I've seen these kids, that they want to know things. They ask questions. They're curious about everything, and that is a good thing. That is an excellent thing. That is how we make progress. Is we ask questions. Mm-hmm. We strive to know more. And that curiosity. Johnny and his wife have fed that and said, "Go out there, ask questions, look for more, find more information, learn as much as you can. And really, really, fuel the things that you love. It doesn't matter if it's snakes or if it's drawing or it's video games. If you dig it, go after it, do it." And they never once stymied that, and that is a beautiful fucking thing.
Damn
it is
right.
a beautiful.
Amen.
It is a beautiful thing. It's a shame that the rest of the world is so intent on trying to kill them all. But
yep, I know, right?
We'll ignore that. Kids are wonderful.
That got so dark.
But that's the thing. Like, you look at these kids. We are. My generation is fucking these kids over, and my parents' generation. We're fucking these kids over by not doing enough to look after the planet that's going to be handed down, and it fucking annoys me that aren't kids wonderful? Yes, they are. How about we start looking after them in the long term? It's just I do want to answer the question of what happened to my voice there.
I'm guessing it's whiskey related.
Did you sit on your saggy? Did you sit on your saggy ball sack again?
No.
Got stuck in the crook of his knee.
Even as saggy as it is, it's just not that big. It's not pathetic.
Hashtag can confirm.
The reality is, I had a I'm just looking at. I heard JL's fucking reaction, and then I looked up. Anyway, so I haven't. You may have noticed, the more attentive amongst you, I haven't had any whiskey at all during the stream, and I just sipped this whiskey, and it's a Welsh whiskey. It's kind of rough. It's not.
I would imagine a Welsh whiskey would be rough. The Welsh are really well known for their whiskies. If I get a glass of Welsh, please. Oh, some diesel, some basically diesel. Let's have a toast to what do you want to toast? Tony to Tony's balls dropping and his voice breaking. That's Mancha.
You guys have murdered JL.
Hey, anyway, I just want to bring something up before we close out.
Okay.
In the spirit of elections and the unhinged election voter fraud, I want to bring up some voter fucking fraud of my own over here.
Uh-oh.
So we once had a vote about who the best looking beardsman was. And I feel I have applied to the Supreme Court.
No, that's not what the vote was on. You're lying.
Voter fraud.
It was you lying.
Why are you shifting the goalpost, motherfucker?
Come on, what is it, Tony?
Who's the sexiest? It was who's the sexiest.
Okay, let's leave the semantics for a moment there, Nathan Thompson.
Oh, jeez, that's below the belt.
Okay, so I have applied to the Supreme Court. I have gotten my my lawyer, let's call him Puliani, and we've applied to the Supreme Court. Because there has been voter fraud the last time, okay? Huge. Biggest voter fraud in the history of the Four Beardsmen, maybe ever. So I call a new election as to who the sexiest fucking beardman is. Now,
special election.
Let's just this is the premise of my voter fraud allegations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one. It is an objective fact that I am the prettiest beardsman. Okay, let's not even debate that. Okay,
Citation
I am prettier than these men.
Citation fucking needed.
Right here. Here's your citation, baby. I am prettier than this man. Now, Jessica G does not get to vote because she's a social pariah. But here's the thing. That's the first problem. The second problem is my face wasn't even on the screen during the vote.
Okay, fine. All right, fuck
this
it. Here,
is
look,
the
stop it. Shut it. Trump, if you don't
history.
stop talking Trump, we're going to kick you off the stage.
Will you shut up, man?
Okay,
oh, come on, man. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, I'll switch to Biden.
We're going to do it. No, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to make you, we're going to appease you. We're going to appease you, right? So we've got the last, we're going to put the last winner up top. PhD Tony. PH, I'll give you the giant D Tony, is number one. So, who was number two? Number two was J.L. Warren. J.L. Warren. Number two. Irish Demon, number three, even though I gave it to you. Irish Demon, 3. And then, you know, me. We'll go with the ugliest. 4. There are your numbers. One vote per person in the chat.
I think I'm uglier than all of you guys.
PhD Tony, you won. So, Irish, you can't vote for yourself.
Hey, this is a free and fair election. Okay. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to talk to Trump. Who will I talk like instead? Biden? We're gonna get a free shot of pressure. Okay, man.
What the fuck is that?
He said that on stage the other day, and I tried so hard to understand. It's like, why do we gotta waste time putting 5 words when we can just put them all together, man? A free shot of pressure. It still made more sense than what Trump said, so it's all good.
Okay, so there's been one vote.
Yep, one vote.
One vote.
I'm winning already. So 1 for PhD Tony, 2 for J.L. Warren, 3 for Irish Demon, and 4 for this guy. 5. Damn it. 1, 2, 4.
This is bullshit. Voter fraud. You're wrong.
Jessica G would say Johnny O number 1. JL right choice voting. This is where it's awesome. Johnny O number 1. JL Warren number 2. PhD Tony number 3. Irish not funny number 4.
All right, 2. We have a 1. Look at PhD Tony getting a 1. PhD another 1. Alien X.
Very bad.
I can understand that.
Jail's getting a lot of love.
Yeah, he is.
This is bullshit.
Crafty, we are voting for who is the sexiest beardsman.
It is I.
Yes, Irish Demon has claimed that
1-2.
Irish Demon has claimed massive voter fraud and would demand a recount in the state of the 4 Beardsmen. So,
absolutely.
Yep. And I can understand the love that Tony's getting. Tony's sexy as fuck.
Yeah.
Everybody's very kind.
I want to get a little turtle wax.
Alien X.
Don't worry, male votes will be.
I'll let you guys know next Beardsman was the what the outcome is.
Result was.
Irish planet.
It's got nothing to do with me.
I see Jeff Roberts. Thank you for your vote. I appreciate
Stop
it.
Stop spamming. Don't make me
I'm
go
not
super
spamming.
chat mad on you.
Crafty Keela is declining her right to vote. That is as much an indictment of the system as it is of the people involved in it.
I think she's saying that none of us are sexy and none of us are worth
Or
voting.
else all of us are sexy and she can't decide between us.
Yep.
Which
Fake
is
news.
not
Fake
possible.
news.
Fake
You're
news.
wrong.
You're all fake. So
That's an interesting question. Is Trump? Do you think Trump is a solipsist? Like he thinks he's the only one that exists?
Probably.
No,
definitely.
No, he's a sociopath. He thinks he's the only one who counts.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's the only
I
one
was
that
gonna say the
matters.
only that
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
That'd be wild if like in his when he's alone, if he thinks he's the only like this reality is all in his head. Like he's the only real person. That's what I've spoken with a solipsist before, and it's really freaking weird. It's really strange.
Clive Wells.
Be a dipshit too. Like,
I watched your video, commented on your video, and liked your video. So there you go. Did any of these guys do it? I'm just saying.
I was out all day doing really fun stuff.
All right.
All right, so it looks like voting has concluded. So,
So we have
Johnny, where are we at?
all right. Here we go. We've got
I've
a
been
tie.
told in a private message.
Irish, I
biggest beard.
swear I swear I will time you out. If you keep spamming.
I'm not spamming anything, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, Irish?
Fucking bullshit.
All right. So, according to the chat, Johnny O is still number 4. Irish Demon is number 3, and there's a tie between PhD Tony and J.L.
So I'm still
Warren.
the second sexiest, right?
No. You're the next to last sexiest.
So I got a private message from somebody who will remain nameless, who said that it's a source close to the opposition. Is all I'll say. But I'm not going to say who it is because we couldn't be having that kind of honesty. Says that they didn't vote for me because the biggest beard wins. And says that Tony is one sexy man. I swear to God, this is what I'm looking at right now. Now, as for the biggest beard wins, let's be fair here. We're not talking about beard size. We're talking about beard quality. And I mean, look at this luscious blackness right here. I mean, come on, man. To quote Joe Biden, come on, man.
If you can look at that and not think of red pill philosophy.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
It kind of detracts, dude.
Hold on. All right, I'll do the red pill mustache. There you go.
So the thing is, as long as I keep mine trimmed on the sides and I don't let it just get all out, then I can avoid the Aussie Roscoe bullshit. So I can just keep it nice and ancient Chinese wisdom. So
you look like a character from like a western or some shit.
You
got your cowboy hat.
Yeah, you need the hat and the.
That's high praise. That's high praise.
Cowboy hat.
Oh, get my.
All three of you do to some extent. So, Johnny O looks like he's running guns from the US into to help the Mexican War of Independence.
I am.
JL looks like he just. Geez, that was nice butt crack there.
It was beautiful.
that was pretty fucking spectacular.
Look at Indianapolis Jones over here.
JL just looks like every Western hero wants to look. And Irish Demon looks like some sort of British immigrant who's probably going to get killed by Native Americans.
Johnny's is like a bunch of spiders congregating on his chin.
That's true. Yeah, it really, this beard, it didn't matter what I do to it, right? I've tried all the shit. I've tried trimming it. I've tried the whatever, the wax and all that. It just does what it wants to do. So.
Oh, hey Tony, I've been told you look like the smart uncle at a family picnic. You know what you need, Tony? You need a Sherlock Holmes pipe, one of those big fuck off pipes, and just like blow bubbles out of it or something to make it.
And I do want to apologize because sitting in this chair, this chair is not fantastic. I actually did order a new chair, a new better gaming chair, and it does cause my pants are. I've lost a little bit of weight, and I haven't gotten new work pants yet, and they kind of slide down. So I apologize for the ass crack there. But you have seen Team Skeptic. You've seen Team Skeptic in a mankini, so I should get a pass on that.
No, the butt crack is very Australian, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Most tradesmen are displaying.
And I am a tradesman. You should see me when I'm working. You should see me when I'm putting in like a garbage disposal, something like that. Yeah, I have to really be careful because I'm in people's homes. I'm just like, yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I just got a hilarious message.
Sergio Leone made a film called Duck, You Sucker. And it had one of the most magnificent pieces of whitewashing ever, where they had the racist cop from In the Heat of the Night, Rod Steiger, that's his name.
He wasn't playing
playing a Mexican. Rod Steiger playing a Mexican.
Wow.
And they had James Coburn playing an IRA explosives expert. Let's just put it that way. So the double crossover, I think. But you do look like Rod Steiger's character from that film. Of course, he was heavily made up, and I doubt it was his own beard, but the resemblance is there, Johnny.
Oh.
I can hear people Googling even as we speak.
Oh, Johnny, you look like a racist actor.
I look like a racist actor. God damn it.
Was Rod Steiger racist?
Well, I won't go so far as to say he was racist, but he didn't like black people.
Okay.
Say that sounds a little bit. It's like that's kind of like when somebody go, "I'm not racist now, right?" But you know the way, and then
usually say it's racist. Yeah,
which is selling something because Sidney Poitier is one of the most amazing actors I've ever seen. So
yeah.
Sidney Potter.
Do you know how Sidney Poitier came to fame?
It's Sidney Potter. Sorry.
How did he come to fame?
Reference.
He came to fame because he was the understudy to Harry Belafonte in a play, and Harry Belafonte wasn't able to perform on the evening that the casting directors for In the Heat of the Night watched that play. And so they got Sidney Poitier Sidney Poitier being the understudy, he played that role that evening. And so he got the job. But they'd actually come to watch Harry Belafonte perform.
That's amazing. So he's got to be in his 90s by now, surely.
Sidney Poitier, yeah. Is he still alive? I haven't.
I think he is still alive. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but he's got to be well into his 90s for sure.
Okay,
this
is so messed up and totally unrelated. But I went to Google and I typed in SI and Sidney Poitier came up.
Yep. Yeah, he's 93 years old. Born February 20th, 1927.
He's only got a couple of years on you, buddy.
Yep. Well,
but
he's a young
Why did you just assume I was talking about you?
Because I'm the oldest person in this stream, easily.
Oh, yeah.
Take care, Crafty Killer. Enjoy the show.
Oh, wow, take care, Crafty.
He is the oldest living and earliest surviving Best Actor Academy Award winner.
Wow. Sorry, to quote Joe Rogan. Whoa.
That is too cool.
Whoa.
I like that he managed to stay one Oscar ahead of Denzel Washington. Like the year Denzel Washington won his, they gave Sidney Poitier a Lifetime Achievement Oscar as well. So.
That reminds me of the movie Ted, where the chick is like, it's like, who's Denzel Washington? And he's like, the black guy in every movie ever. He's like, yeah, that's him.
No, that was Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Wait, your name is Sam Jackson?
Your name is Sam Jackson. You know the black guy in every movie ever.
That's him.
That's true.
I love that movie, man.
Sam Jackson's been in everything.
He was in Sea of Love. Is that the Al Pacino film? Like, just weird ass thing. He was an extra in Sea of Love. Like, I watched that. Don't know why I watched that film multiple times. It's not that great. But you look back and Samuel L. Jackson is in it. Yeah, Jurassic Park. He was in that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
He was in Coming to America.
Yeah, okay. I believe that.
He was the mugger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Jackson. Yeah.
He was that guy's.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Juice. You seen that movie? Deep Blue Sea.
Yep.
Yes.
Got ate by a shark.
He did get eaten by a shark. That was his condition for appearing in the film. Actually.
Yeah. Well, that was that Dave Chappelle sketch because it was Sam Adams or Samuel L. Jackson beer instead of Sam Adams beer. It was Sam Jackson beer. Okay. Why are you yelling at me? This is how I talk. Ain't you see my movies? Deep Blue Sea, Juice.
One of the
that was a good one.
One of my favorite Sam Jackson performances was in Black Snake Moan.
Oh yes. Oh God, Christina Ricci.
Yeah, not even because it's Christina Ricci. I remember when I first saw that, I was uncomfortable seeing her tits.
Well, we kind of like watched her grow up.
That's why I was uncomfortable. Like, oh wow, I had to look down and look away. It's like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at this. Yeah, she kept showing them over and over and over in the film. Like, God, will you stop that? Wednesday Addams, put your boobs away.
I had the same issue with Selena Gomez because I've been aware of Selena Gomez as she's grown up, but then I one of her songs I heard it on the radio. I was like, well, that's actually kind of cool. I wonder if there's a video after that. I watched the video for it, and I'm like, no, I can't watch this. This makes me feel very uncomfortable because she still looks so young.
Yes.
But I saw her when she was like a child on the Disney Channel, and now she's doing this stuff on her video, and I'm like, yeah, this is inappropriate.
Exactly.
My experience with that, because I haven't seen the film you just referenced with Christina Ricci.
It was Angela Lansbury, wasn't it?
No. So watching her career blossom was pretty good. No, it was Emily Browning.
Yes.
She was in a series of unfortunate events. And she gets the guns out for American Gods,
yes.
the television series. You're just going, that's a bit weird.
Her first movie was Ghost Ship, and we recently talked about that on Week in Horror.
She was a little girl, right?
She was a little girl in Ghost Ship, and it was kind of like, and that I watched her grow up. The same thing goes for Alexander Daddario. because Alexandra Daddario was always the very, she's got those striking eyes, and she's always been she's played very, very particular female roles, very usually strong, independent women, and then that changed when she got on True Detective. Because that was very weird. That was that caused some serious dissonance, because it was kind of like, yay, but no, I just because you have this image.
She's the one with the huge mouth.
No, she's the one with like the ice blue eyes.
Yeah, I think she's got like an enormous mouth. If I remember correctly.
To go with her enormous guns.
Who are we talking about?
Alexandra Daddario.
Okay.
Nice. She seems like such a sweetheart in real life, but that was something that took me off guard, was when she was in True Detective.
What happened? Daniel Pratt's water heater brings up, it says like Emma Watson. It's almost like grooming. Yeah, it feels weird, right?
Yeah, it feels very strange.
It feels very strange, and you're just going like, I'm sure you're, and I feel conflicted. Like I can fit. Emma Watson's actually a great example.
Yes.
Because people criticize her for sexualizing herself. And I feel like, fuck off. If that's the way she wants to present herself to the world, she's got every right to do that. And don't be fucking, can we be grown up about the fact that people have sex? Let's accept that as a reality.
What's that?
Yes, says the man with 4 kids. Is it? I'm sure you're a complete stranger to that.
4 kids that I know
of. 4 kids.
Fucker setting up franchises.
And
well, at least Maisie didn't take her, didn't get naked. Okay.
Right.
So Alien X Gaming mentioned Arya Stark. It was like, yeah, we grew up with Maisie, but at least she didn't get naked in that.
Yeah. But it's just obviously these young ladies are going to grow up, and they're going to become, they're going to blossom into adult roles, and our standards of nudity for women are very different from our standards of nudity for men, weirdly. It's so we are going, but if a woman wants to dress sexily, Jennifer Lawrence got heavily criticized for wearing a very revealing dress at some award ceremony. If she wants to wear the dress, let her wear the dress. If Emma Watson wants to be sexy, let her be sexy.
Sure.
I don't, I feel like I'm way too old and way too ugly to be thinking about those to be thinking about young women in a sexual way. But at the same time, I want them to have the liberty to be who they are, what they want to be.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, I'm not. It wasn't about Christina Ricci shouldn't be doing that. It was more of I shouldn't be looking at this, because I remember Wednesday Addams.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I'm a serial killer. They look just like everybody else. One of the
it's kind of like Jennifer Connelly. So if you grew up with Jennifer Connelly, you see her in Labyrinth and the things that she's done along. Then you turn around to watch Requiem.
Oh, that was a horrible like bookend for that.
Yeah.
If you watch those films in that order, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, that's rough. So, but I mean, I don't know. It made me feel strange. There is a dissonance there, but
Requiem should make you feel strange regardless. Like just watching Requiem for a Dream in that scene will make you feel bad. Yeah. Regardless of how you know Jennifer Connelly, that scene itself is just it's difficult to watch.
Mario Ruiz says, "How about Jodie Foster?" Because Jodie Foster obviously coming up as the taxi driver, and then report. it may be a sense of removal because I didn't grow up with Jodie Foster as when Jodie Foster was young. I didn't see Taxi Driver until way down the road. So
Jodie Foster graduated from Disney, didn't she? So she and Kurt Russell, and this is the thing that gets me. Like, so the standards of nudity that are expected of female actors. Have you ever seen Kurt Russell's junk? No, I don't particularly want to see Kurt Russell's junk,
especially now.
It's just I'm sure the thing is, I'm sure he's in vastly better shape than I am. It's just not required. We have this weird double standard.
True.
Aronofsky is on point.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Darren Aronofsky's work. I loved Pi. I thought Pi was fantastic.
Okay.
Requiem,
I hated Pi.
Requiem was fantastic, and I'm one of the few that really enjoyed The Fountain. I really liked The Fountain and the work that was done there, and of course The Wrestler. The Wrestler was amazing.
So, I got free tickets to see Pi because it features the board game Go very heavily in it, and so I went to see it, and it was clear that the guy could not. The actor insisted on playing his own Go games, and he was clearly fucking terrible at it because every group he made was dead, and he didn't know. Which, in terms of the script, was fine because he was supposed to be losing badly anyway. But if your plot is a man with paranoid delusions cures himself by drilling a hole in his head with a power drill, is that really a great story?
It was okay, just in that context, no, Pi would not be a great story in that context alone. But I think there's more. There's more that goes into it. It was wonderfully shot. The cinematography was fantastic. But the acting was on point. And I liked the thriller aspect of it. That if someone had this ability and the things coming out of it, it was a unique film. These kinds of subjects don't pop up in film every single day, and I like that he kind of broached that kind of subject that opened up areas of thought, and I really dug it. I learned something from the film. I took something away from it, and then of course, the epic scene where he puts a drill bit in his skull to end his ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that somebody could stare into the sun and become a mathematical genius. Flirts, do not try that at home.
They already have.
I just don't. To me, he seemed like the lead character from A Beautiful Mind, just without a formal diagnosis, and he cures himself by drilling a hole in his head. That's the film. That's Pi, as far as I can tell.
and that guy is a decent actor. He is no Russell Crowe.
Right. It's just. Did you see? Oh, God, what was the film he was in? Russell Crowe was in recently.
Unhinged.
Unhinged.
Yep.
He was.
Was that like a life story, life biopic?
He was scary in that.
It's a very, very decent movie. I mean, Russell Crowe can be a very compelling bad guy, and he's even more intimidating because he's one of the guys that when he gains weight, when he actually puts weight on, he puts it on kind of all over. So he's not he doesn't look flabby. He looks like a tank.
Yeah.
And when he gets going, you can tell that, and he's still got that strength underneath there. So that's a scary dude. And I think it's so many people on the internet are giving him shit for being big, because there was
he always gets shit every time he doesn't do the if he's not in gladiator shape, and that's kind of where the I guess the double standard turns around. Well, no, not really, because if women get like look at Adele when she was bigger and people were making a big deal about how big she was, but little did we know that she was actually pregnant. Now she's not big anymore. Everybody's like, oh, she looks so amazing. I'm like, well, Fuck off. People are fat. People are skinny. They go through waves. You know, I'm fat. You guys don't think I look amazing? Fuck you know. But he got a lot of shit whenever what was it, American Gangster came out, and he was bigger in that.
Yeah.
But the guy he was playing was a bigger guy.
Yep.
Yep.
He's a federal agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of body shaming that goes on that Hollywood are responsible for, and I kind of think that but our viewers back them up on it. So viewers are quick to criticize actors and actresses for not conforming to ludicrously high standards. So.
Yep. Look at Irish Demon. Look at this guy.
What the fuck?
This fucking guy.
Is he trying to be like a cowboy?
No, I was just having a siesta.
Wow.
Guy.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I was actually really enjoying the conversation before I was fucking rudely woken up. No, but I agree that the body shaming situation in Hollywood is a fucking joke. Like that's what stopped my Hollywood career dead in its tracks.
Mine too.
I just couldn't get that hourglass figure that they wanted.
Right.
And that was, it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen there's a movie, Knocked Up with Joe Rogan. Not Joe Rogan.
Wow,
Fucking,
Seth
what's
Rogen.
his name? Seth Rogen, Joe's cousin. And there's a part where the main female character in it, she's a TV presenter or something, and the guy is like, you're getting a little bit bigger on the sides, and she's like, are you telling me I need to lose weight? And he's like, no, it's just like, take your weight, minus 10, and just weigh that much.
Well, that's okay. I know we can't all make it in Hollywood, but I hear your Chub Cam's career is coming along quite well.
It is coming on like a house on fire. The only thing is my room isn't long enough to get that wide angle that I need. So I have to do it in the back garden and send up the drone.
Yeah. You
You
remember how the conversation was enjoyable while you weren't participating in it?
I seem to
said that.
realize that now.
Oh shit! Jessica G taking a swing at Seth Rogen with Seth "Don't Pay My Artist" Rogen. Yes, there was the whole controversy over Sausage Party. It was bad. It was really bad. Or sausage, sausage. It was Sausage Fest.
Actually a little bit, yeah. So Sausage Party was the film.
Party?
That was it.
Where the animators working for the company didn't get paid for overtime and felt that but the dispute was actually between them and the animation company.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, I guess, could have taken steps around the animation company, but the dispute was actually between the animators and the company that had been contracted to do the work, and they felt that they were put under, they were able to demonstrate that they weren't paid overtime, and they were pressured to do work excessive hours. And the animation companies turned around and said, "Well, we think that we complied with the terms of the contract." If I'd been in Seth Rogen's shoes, I feel like I would have put more pressure on that animation company to fucking pay their employees. So it's not like Seth Rogen is blameless. Because he should have stepped in. And this only became public, actually, once sort of Sausage Party came out and people actually go, it's actually better than we thought it was going to be. Then the animation artist said, actually, we didn't get paid for this shit. Seth Rogen, I don't feel, the responsible way to react to that would have been, holy shit, how did that happen?
Right.
Let's make sure these people get paid. And I don't think that was Seth Rogen's reaction.
Jessica G, I don't think anybody's defending Seth Rogen here. It sounded more like a more accurate explanation of what happened. Because, Rogen, I mean, when you're in that position and you're making, I think he served as an executive producer on that film. So when you are in that position, you find out that people who did work didn't get paid. You kind of have an obligation to
You
step
do
up for those
definitely
people.
have an obligation. Yeah, and you're quite right. Rogan took zero action to help them. Yeah. I was unaware that he insisted their names be taken out of the credits, because that's a dick move. And yeah, it was a dispute between a company and their employees. But once he was made aware of it, he should have stepped in to make sure that shit got settled and they got paid for their work. And he should have been publicly upfront about how it's unacceptable that employees can be exploited by that on a movie that he's payrolling.
Right.
That's I'm just trying. I'm trying to clarify exactly what I think he's guilty of. I don't think he was guilty of necessarily deciding to underpay them, but he was certainly guilty of not rectifying the situation and making sure they did get paid, and that does make him a dick.
Yeah.
So
I think the amount of money was inconsequential. It wasn't, buku's bucks. It was. He could have wrote a check for it and been done with it.
Yeah, particularly someone of Seth Rogen's means should have been able to resolve this out of his own pocket if necessary, without any trouble whatsoever, and he didn't do it. And I think a more genuine individual would have.
Yeah,
Johnny O, you're taking some flack over here in the comment section of this morning's live stream. Somebody says your guest, that's you, called Joe Biden left of center. What the fuck? I don't understand political compass ratings. I've got to say. Hold on. PMP. I'm not really sure what this person's saying. Nope, I don't get that at all, I'm afraid. Oh, holy shit, it's way longer than...
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'll take flack. That's fine. Let people be mad at what I said. They can go fuck themselves.
So what are they trying to say? That
I have no idea. I'm not reading what you've got up.
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought we were both reading it, man. Sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're trying to say he's more right than you think or more left than you think. I always thought he was kind of center right, really.
Yeah.
But I think that's like.
I guess it depends on the issue you look at, right? If you focus in on certain issues, I'm going to be more one way than the next.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. I think we're too quick to say, somebody is right or left. Like, I'm sure there's some things on... I'm left of center for sure, but I'm just trying to think, is there anything that's a more conservative view that I'm in line with?
I don't know.
I don't know. What are the kind of conservative sticking points?
I know that they're trying to make child exploitation a conservative versus liberal thing, which is bullshit. That's just a human thing.
That's absolutely bullshit. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't understand why that.
Surely we can all agree on that, right?
Yes.
Like, of all fucking things. I mean, so what is the kind of core conservative values?
Fiscal responsibility, but the way we go about fiscal responsibility, I think that's where the left versus right kind of gets into. Because I really do think that both left and right share an idea that we need to be fiscally responsible. It's how we get to that fiscal responsibility that's in question.
No, so I mean, there's so if you draw an analogy, and it's a pretty piss poor analogy with your home finances, there are two ways to, one is to reduce your expenditure, another one is to increase your income somehow, and the idea that, we're going to veto every fucking increase in taxation, and then we're going to insist that the only way you can be fiscally responsible is by reducing expenditure. Well, actually, you've you've made a decision there, and it's a piss poor decision.
Right.
Back in the 1950s,
I was just about to bring that up.
The top marginal tax rate was 90%, over 90%, I think.
92.
And the US built a huge a highway system and a system of dams.
Mm-hmm.
JFK reduced the tax rate to top marginal tax rate to 70%, but was still able to fund NASA and put a man on the moon.
Right.
When you tax, and it's not like America became a communist wasteland or private enterprise fell over and stopped operating or whatever. It worked, and the government was able to supply services and infrastructure that private companies couldn't provide.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have that, and then there's also there are other things that were going on in the 50s that helped with the economy, but that was a big factor in the fact that the government actually had money to, because the state of Texas can't afford to pay for roads or infrastructure. The government, the United States, or any government can't afford to pay for infrastructure without taxation. And who builds those roads? Well, people do, companies, and whatever. People get paid. People get paid to put in roads, schools, infrastructure. So when you have the ability to, what? Hi. Oh, hi. Sorry, I got distracted by a very beautiful woman. When you have the ability to pay for certain things or fund certain things based on that everybody needs, we all need these things. But I'm not going to go out and say, here's $10, go build me a road, or here's $10,000. I can't do that. But when we pool our resources together, we can. There is a huge misunderstanding from most people. The average everyday person doesn't understand that we have a progressive tax system here. So when they hear 92%, they think that, well, if I make $1 million, you're going to take 92% of that. No, that's not how it works. That's not how any of that works. It's progressive. So the first $24,999 that you make is taxed at one rate, 25, and so on. It's not, well, now that you made it to this high tax rate, we're going to take 32% or we're going to take 90% of all your money. No, it's not how it works.
Yeah. There's supposed to be a fuel excise that pays for the maintenance of roads and highway systems,
right?
And that hasn't increased since it was introduced because the GOP just veto any attempt to do so. As a result of which, a lot of America's infrastructure is actually crumbling. You're going to end up with, if you don't actually. Private enterprise won't do this shit, right?
Because there's no money in it.
Because there's no money in it. So the government has to invest in the infrastructure that needs to be present for the country to prosper. The transport and the communications infrastructure that is necessary for businesses to operate efficiently. Without that infrastructure there, they can't operate, but it's too big a project for any of them to agree on to perform. So it's a false economy, and a lot of these things are like not preserving the environment is a false economy. Okay, you're not paying to combat climate change, but it's a bigger expense. Not having socialized healthcare just means that basically you ignore people's medical conditions until they become so life-threatening that you feel morally compelled to intervene. But that's vastly more expensive than it would have been to treat them earlier.
Right.
So it's just there's just a huge amount of we're not going to spend on this. Well, that's a false economy. You're not actually saving money. You're just you're just pretending to be a hard ass. Yeah, right. You're pushing the bill down the road. Anyway,
and that whole idea. Well, so this kind of piggybacks onto that, and I think we should make this the last bit and then wrap up because Irish Demon over there is munching on some hashish.
I'm so fucking baked.
Anyway, so you've got you got this whole idea about minimum wage and whatnot, how we should raise the minimum wage. And I agree. Minimum wage has not kept up with inflation. And you get a lot of people say, well, then you should just get a better job. It's not that fucking easy, people. It's not, well, you know what? I think I'm going to become a brain surgeon now. Let me just go become a brain surgeon. No, that shit takes money, a lot of money. And you can't pay for that stuff based on, I'm going to work my way through McDonald's. I'm going to work at McDonald's and pay for my college. No, I can't even pay to live. I can't even pay my bills with minimum wage jobs at McDonald's. And so there's that cycle thing that it's well, get a better job. I can't afford it. I can't afford to get a better job. If I do, I have to take out a whole shit ton of loans. And then by the time I do get said better job, I spend the next 30, 40 years of my life paying off those loans. So I'm in the same position I was in before I went and, quote, got the better job. So it's not as simple as, just go get a better job. No, these people, and regardless, we shouldn't have to saddle ourselves with hundreds of thousands of dollars of college debt just to, quote, get a better job. And not everybody is a tradesperson. Not everybody wants to be a mechanic. Not everybody can be a mechanic. Not everybody can build houses. So to sit there and say, well, you should have done a trade instead. Okay, maybe some people should go to trade school instead and learn how to do electrical engineering, at least on trade level side, or become a mechanic. Sure, but not everybody can do that.
True.
I just, sort of the one of the problems I think, and God, Trump just drives me nuts with it, is the idea of the the stock market being some measure of economic prosperity.
It is for wealthy people.
Yes, it is for wealthy people, but the most meaningful measure of economic prosperity is middle class purchasing power.
Right.
The ability of the middle class to buy products needs to expand. It needs to increase, and it's been largely stagnant since Reagan. Clive Wells and Jessica G have made the point that it does help pension funds, and that's true. But
not everybody has a pension.
Not everybody has a pension, and we kind of, we really, I think that the U.S. really needs to adopt, to understand that the vast majority of wealth is being siphoned off to people who are already wealthy. Mm-hmm. That needs to stop. The cycle needs to stop. Okay. And it's complicated. There are a lot of.
Jessica G says the problem with minimum wage being raised is that until they have actual rent reform, every time minimum wage is raised, states like California, Seattle, New York will just weasel more money out of people. And I've heard this before. And Seattle recently increased their minimum wage to $15 an hour. That's the state minimum, or I think it's Washington is the state minimum wage is $15. Now, one thing that everybody thought that same thing. Well, that just means that people will charge more money and we'll be in the same spot. Seattle actually saw a huge increase in spending and people being able to actually afford their bills. There was not a whole, so all the amount of money that businesses had to pay out, the expenditures were offset by all of a sudden this sudden surge of income. Because now people can pay their rent, they can pay their car payments, they can buy food for the house, and they can still afford to take their family out to dinner. Or they can go to the bar and have a couple of drinks.
So the labor costs in Australia are extremely high, but they have to be because real estate prices are really high. And so people need to be paid more money just to be able to afford some place to live. And once you're in that cycle, it's actually a dead weight on the economy. And we're kind of Australia, people in Australia have taken the idea that investing in real estate is just a way to make money because real estate prices always go up. They always increase because there was no real estate crash in Australia as a result of the GFC. It just didn't happen. but it will one day. And when it does, we're just going to have a lot of very bankrupt people who have been overvaluing the house that they live in and the investment properties that they own. The wealthy people tend to own several investment properties. They charge high rents on to pay back the excessive mortgages, and the banks are doing very well out of the entire business. Thank you very much. But what it's doing is it's making everything more expensive, and it's not actually, it's actually if you do not bring some sort of modicum of sanity to the real estate market, then the cycle that Jessica G is identifying here actually can get run away.
Sure, no, for certain, I agree.
And so I think that Seattle were able to do it without that happening is to the credit of Seattle. But I think that you do need to take care, because you can end up in a situation where people are just siphoning money out of their renters.
Sure, and it takes more than just raising the minimum wage, right? So I don't think that that's the panacea of the issue. Well, just raise minimum wage and we're good. No, it takes more than that. It does take renters reform. It does take certain, well, you can't price gouge. You can't tell people that, in order to live in a decent one-bedroom apartment. Well, there's a lot of things that fall into place here. But the people's idea that, well, if we raise minimum wage, it's just it's not necessarily true. You've got to remove the ability for greed sometimes.
Yeah. And this is the thing. You've got to actually curb the worst impulses of people who own a lot of capital, because they will exploit the leverage that they have to gouge poorer people.
Yeah, I've always felt there was something fundamentally wrong with the fact that I could buy a castle in Europe, like in France. I could buy a French castle for less than it would cost a 2-1 brownstone in New York.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just that's silly. It is silly to me.
It's absurd.
All right. Well, it seems like Irish Demon is saying that he's got to go play with his fishies before he goes to bed. And I know it's getting late as fuck over there.
It's gone midnight, and before I headed out earlier, I did half water changes in my whole fish room, which is now about 26 tanks. So I've now got to go up and fill about 500 liters of treated water, which has to be done by hand. And I've got to put some shrimp into their new home. And I'll hopefully get all that done by about 2 a.m. And then I got to get up at 7. So
Demon just sits in there staring at his tanks like the governor in The Walking Dead.
Absolutely 100% true.
All right. So we are at a good stopping point. So, guys, we'll get everybody a chance to say goodbye. PH Tony, what do you got to say?
Well, always a pleasure hanging out and talking with people. I didn't realize that Clive Wells was so racist against French people, but you live and you learn. You live and you learn. That's all I'm going to say.
Froggy.
Yes.
Hey, Froggy.
I put out a new video about entropy, and I'm hoping that some people will learn what entropy actually is and why flat earthers are all wrong about it. I'm working on another video about why helium balloons go upwards. And that's me.
Johnny O, what you got?
I've got unpopular opinions coming out tomorrow. I'm actually going to do a little bit different. I'm going to have a popular opinion, which if formula follows, it means people will think it's unpopular, but we'll see what happens. Really excited about December 18th because I have Whitney Raquel and jazz. I have a jazz trio behind her in studio for the podcast. That's December 18th, so mark your calendars for that one. What else do I got coming up? I think that's about it right now.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, Master Debaters, Friday the 13th. That's this coming up Friday. We're going to do it on the podcast on rockmetaltalk.com. So get on that so we can do some chitty chats about the good old Friday the 13th franchise.
Fish and chips. What you got?
So, I have got a few different things coming up, just a few live streams. I'm just kind of playing around with some ideas for new shows at the moment. I'm looking at getting together maybe an interview series of, I want to do maybe like 5 to 10 episodes interviewing different people on different topics. So kind of a bit more of a journalism angle, I guess. And yeah, I just kind of take the week as it comes and see what happens, and look forward to the next Beardsman, which is where?
It's on your channel. It's on Demons.
Oh, it's on my channel?
Yep.
Yes, it is on your
Friday?
channel. Yep, on the 15th.
Next Sunday?
On your channel. Yep.
Sounds good. So yeah, folks, next Sunday, next Sunday, over on my channel, the Beardsmen shall unite again, and hopefully we might have more clarity on the U.S. election and things like that to be able to actually kind of talk about it properly and break some things down. It'd be quite interesting. Yeah. I just wish Donald Trump would stop acting like a petulant child.
Yeah.
And just accept it, dude. For fuck's sakes.
And so for those of you who are keeping count, on the channel of the third sexiest Beardsman next week, you will be able to see us all again.
Shit, motherfucker. Hey, at least I'm the third sexiest.
Only because
I will just say this. I will just say this, right? The person who voted and said that they only voted for jail because of beard size, which is ridiculous. It's not about the size. It's not all about the size.
Sometimes it's about the width.
I think they actually genuinely prefer me, but only voted for you on beard size. So I'm just gonna say that we are joined first, all three of us, and Johnny Oza. And Johnny Oza fucking hey, it's voter fraud. It's fucking voter fraud, because she told me that wasn't her intention. Well, she didn't. I'm just assuming that, but like that's a fair assumption, which seems to be enough.
Jessica G says, if you want to hear an Irish Demon interview, time could be better spent watching a fish take a shit, like here.
So fucking funny. Bite me. Well, I guess I better close mine out with a joke for Jessica G.
Yep.
If that is her real name. My wife asked me if I could clear the kitchen table. I had to get a running start, but I made it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you laughed.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. The funny part about that was that you told it as a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yourself. to put it mildly.
All right, everybody. Well, and I guess I'll go. It's my channel, so thank you. I'm JL. I appreciate everybody for coming out. This has been absolutely amazing. I love doing the Four Beardsmen of the Apocalypse with my fellow hosts here, PhD Tony, Irish Demon, and Johnny O from the Plot Hole. Check out their individual channels. Be sure and like and subscribe if you have not yet. There's some amazing content there, some great stuff, and then also Irish Demon's boring ass channel. But I hope you enjoy my stuff. I debate theists and woo believers whenever they decide they want to show up, and I deconstruct silliness on the internet. So you can check out my videos there. I should have a new one coming up where I deconstruct Darth Dawkins pretty soon. There's a lot of audio clips stuff that I have to pull, so it's going to take some time. But that should be a pretty good one. And if you dig horror movies, I also have a horror podcast called Week in Horror. You can check that out. Please subscribe. We're trying to get that bad boy monetized, but we put those podcast episodes up on YouTube. You can check them out. I'm currently doing a big giveaway right now where you can win a copy of Trivial Pursuit Ultimate Horror Edition. I actually have it sitting right here. You can win that on our latest episode. If you subscribe to the channel, like, and comment on that video, you will get an entry to win that game. This would be pretty badass. We're also going to get a copy, and we're going to play it amongst ourselves, which would be really, really cool. That should be we should do a live thing on that sometime. But other than that, everybody, I hope everybody